Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the stream. Happy Wednesday. Oh, God, there's a cat clawing on me. She's attacking me. Ah! Literally, as I do that, she starts like attacking the back of my chair. Hi, K-Cat. Of course, she has to say hi at the beginning, as of every Wednesday. She likes to go crazy. Yep, it happens. It happens. Love her to death, but she loves to tear up everything. So, happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome back. As I was saying, that totally threw me off. Hope everybody is doing well. There's all the K-Cat spam. We love her. We love her. I gotta send Warlock wants like headshots. I guess I'm gonna be modeling K-Cat now. I don't know. I think he's making a sticker or something. I don't know. He's like, send me headshots of K-Cat, and I'm like, all right. But it is Wednesday, and that means that we do have the web show. It is officially week 16 of officially doing this. So I'll go ahead. We're gonna switch right over. Whoop. Get this going. Get the introductions going. Hi, new. I'm Kdog. Whoop. There we go. So. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome back to Kdog After Dark, the official web show where we talk about random bullshit, gaming, streaming stuff. What are you destroying now, cat? Jesus Christ. It's like I start talking. Yeah, I start talking and she just starts going crazy. This week, special guest across from me, RumoredXO, above Disciple, pointing right there. The lovely Rumored is who we're joined by. She has the same person who made her chibi as made my chibi. That's why they look alike. Wait, hold on. Where's my... I don't even know if I have my chibi on this scene. Wait. Do I? Yeah, the Jansky one. Yeah, there. Yeah, exactly. I got to do that too. It's like I know I have to point towards the wall.
You're up there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
which is the opposite.
Yeah. But Rumored special guest away. We'll get to her in a second. Of course, Disciple, co-host this week. He missed it last week. He was like, I missed out. I was so sad. I didn't get to talk about all the updates. But as you guys know, he was still in chat for half of it. So you know, I don't know. You know, he's like, I'm not gonna be on the show. I'm like, okay, and then an hour into the show, he shows up and is just in chat the whole time. You know, it's like, fuck, could have just added you in.
Doing stuff with the lady, man.
No, I know. I'm giving you shit. Priorities. But before we start getting into it, I'll do a little bit for those of you guys that are new to the show as we're getting started. Of course, I do always like to say this is a show where we all are talking about new games, new streaming stuff, everything going on in our community. We are going to be engaging a lot with each other, more so than chat. Not saying that we don't love you guys, but if we don't respond to something right away, there is a whole section set up in the Discord with live Q&A that we will touch back on at the end if we missed anything. So if we don't exactly answer a question, anything like that, post it in there. We'll get back to it. I promise we'll get around to it. We do a little section at the end. We're not ignoring you. We love you guys. Same thing with hosts, follows, and all that. We'll have the co-stream going up throughout. If you guys see that, definitely make sure that you follow Rumored. And if you're not following Disciple, of course, by this point in the web show, I don't know what to tell you.
You probably won't.
Yeah. So if you're not doing it at this point, then I don't know. But yeah, so if we don't get to you, we love you. We appreciate you, but that's why a lot of us will type in chat as well, as you'll see throughout the show, just kind of to respond if one of us, the other ones, is talking, you know, when I'm in the middle of one of my rants. That being said, we love all of you guys. Yep. This is, I actually, speaking of, before I even get more into it, I saw Joker just put it. I actually was going to almost name this episode like Attack of the Beard, because everybody's commenting on how like luscious my beard is getting. They're like, you can grow a nice, well, maybe not luscious. They're like, you can grow a nice full beard. I'm like, I'm fucking Norwegian. This is the Viking coming out right here. This is it. This is as much as.
I like how Disciple's keeping you honest.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
It's true. Well, you know, luscious may not be the word, but it is very sexy.
I mean, it's full and manly. I love it. I think you look good with the beard.
And then you know, and then you have other people like Charlie came in the other day. She's like, you look like a hobo. I'm like, yeah, but you like clean shaven guys. So you know, everybody has their personal preference. Yeah. But yeah, moving right along. Actually, getting into the show. Do our little bit normal introductions. We're gonna put her a little bit on the spot. Of course, Rumored. Personally, I met at West last year, I think due to Disciple. I think I met you the ones. I think we only met and hung out I think once, because I was going around and doing so much that maybe another time. But I remember the Dave and Buster's style place. What's it called? That was in Seattle. Disciple. That was right by the convention center.
In the back, the arcade was like in the back.
It's slipping my mind. What is that called?
Yeah, the game. The Dave and Buster's style place. Either way, it's a Dave and Buster's style place. Right. Yeah, we're gonna say Dave and Buster's.
2.0.
Yeah, Dave and Buster's, right by the convention center. I was hanging out, meeting OD, and that's where I met Rumored. GameWorks. Yeah. That's where I met Rumored. Also Sasa. I know we mentioned it there as well when Sasa was on the show. Rumored, Sasa, Missy Slim, and Rumored your husband was there, correct? I think, right?
Yep.
Was it? Yep. So I got to meet all of them. That was the first time meeting them. And then, of course, we saw each other at South again. But that was the first time we met, thanks to D. Didn't know, never said 2 words before that, only said 4 words since then. But otherwise,
I just want to say, before I tracked this man down at South, and he was just everywhere. Like, he wouldn't stop to talk to me. He was like, he gave me a hug, and then he was gone. I was like,
dude,
okay.
I was all over it. South. Every time I turned around, I was doing something else and somewhere else, and different groups of people and all that. I mean, like, even Disciple I was staying with, and the only reason I saw him every day is because we were staying together. And it's like, all right, let's share the Uber there, and then, okay, this is what's going on later tonight. All right,
yeah, we all had a lot of stuff to do, so I mean, we all went our different ways.
Yeah, exactly. Of course, a little bit officially about Rumored. She does what? FPSs mainly. I do see you playing like
Apex Legends.
Yeah, Apex, of course. You say you started off with like Black Ops way back in the day, correct?
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
And been streaming for how long? About what? A year and a half now? Year, something like that.
No, about a year and a month. April.
But year
I
and a
started
month.
2019.
Well, happy unofficial birthday. Cheers.
Thank you. Oh, cheers.
That was more just an excuse to allow me to drink because I hadn't drank yet. So FES is all I do see. Great community. Honestly, if you've never been over there, Rumors Channel, she does has a lot of her little like girls' night streams and all that kind of stuff where it gets all the girls together. They co-stream and they play games and go wreck on people all over Apex and all that kind of fun stuff. What else? Happily married. Well, I'm not gonna make a subject. Married. We'll just live with that. Hi, hubby. No, I don't know. I always make that joke, so don't feel bad. Happily married, mother. Also made the joke last week. I mean, happily mother as well, I assume, most days.
Not today. Yeah. I'm off.
Yeah, I said most days. Yeah, exactly. Tonight she is not a mom. Tonight she is Rumored. What else? What else am I missing? What else? Who is Rumored?
Pretty basic. You put it on paper.
Dude, you're not basic. You're loud. You're fun.
I know.
Hang out with.
Rumor is a trip.
And I'm sarcastic.
You're
sarcastic. It's right here.
Not a handful. You're 2 handfuls of fun, and it takes at least two guys to keep you under control. Because usually I was one of them.
Yeah.
He was. You know how often people come to me, hey, I heard you got kicked out of a bar. I'm like, I didn't get kicked. I was escorted out by Disciple.
I wasn't kicked. I was politely asked to leave.
I was politely asked to quit my night, which was necessary.
which was necessary at that point. Then we at South, I left you hanging outside the partner. Well, I didn't really leave you hanging, but it was one of those you had to stand outside the partner event for like an hour and a half, 2 hours.
I went down the street and I ate.
Yeah, exactly. Well, she was waiting for somebody else. She wasn't my +1. I had my +1 for the event. And then, it's like I see her at we get there at 7 or whatever. It's like, oh, hey, Rumor, what's up? All right, I'm going to go in and start hanging out. And then 2 hours later, she finally able to get in because she was there with, she was PAX +1. Those of you guys that know PAC, everybody should know. She was PAX +1. And PAC is, for those of you guys that have ever
called me. Because I definitely would have been able to get her in without Pac there, because that's ridiculous.
I mean, Pac time is a totally different time. I always joke with him about it. He comes in, he says, "Hey, I'll be ready in 15 minutes." I'm like, "Cool, I'll see you in an hour." I mean, it's just it's just one of those
things.
He
may be ready in 45, right? But I mean, it's pretty much an hour.
Yeah. So. But
it was rough. I had time to go eat, order food, not fast food. Sit down and eat food. Got it. It was rough.
Yeah, I don't think.
But it was worth it because I got to hang out with you guys a little bit more, and then I met Charlie. It was really cool.
Yeah, it was a good time. We'll talk a little bit more about cons actually. Well, speaking of, we could just go ahead and jump right into it.
Yep.
Take a little swig of hey guys. Hold on, I got to do the whole little here. We can clip this. There we go. Yeah. Dr. Pepper. Yeah.
A long day of stream.
Yeah. The fresh taste of Dr. Pepper. One of these days, I'll get that sponsorship. One of the few sponsorships I would kill for.
Yeah.
You know,
right after Disciple gets it.
Yeah, exactly. I gotta get that. Yeah. Dude, I think we're all working to do that thing. If I had stock in that
Dr.
motherfucker,
Pepper's my jam.
I know. It's like I literally I know when I remember growing up, and I remember like my grandmother and all that saying, like, you know, drinking soda, like you'll get addicted to it if you drink too much. And I was like, I'm not gonna worry about it. Younger, as I've gotten older, I don't drink any other soda. But if I go like a day without drinking Dr. Pepper, I can tell. I could totally tell. Like, I know I'm addicted, but it is what it is. Dr. Pepper is life. I'm okay with it. You know, it's like I need a Dr. Pepper.
Find it funny, like everyone's drinking Dr. Pepper and I'm drinking a Dr. Pepper, the cream soda flavor.
Oh, that's really good. I like that one.
The cream soda actually isn't bad. I've had it before. It's not bad.
Like, I don't like the cherry. The cherry Dr. Pepper is no.
The cherry Dr. Pepper makes it taste like an off-brand Dr. Pepper. Like, you know, like the Aldi's brand or something, Dr. A+, like that kind of shit.
It does. It tastes like
Dr. Pepper cherry tastes,
Dr. Cherry.
Dr. Thunder. Dr. Thunder.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah,
I'm drinking Dr. Pepper and rum.
Mm-hmm. Which I will be later on into the show, because I was telling these guys I went to go actually get a bottle of wine for the web show tonight. And that, because like I said last week, I'm out of my cheaper ones. That was the last one that I randomly found. And I went to go get into my car, and I flicked the switch, and it just click. Nothing. My battery, I guess, had been sitting too long. I didn't realize it had been so long. Like, I know you need to like turn your car and let it run. I'm pretty sure it hasn't been more than 3 weeks since I went and got groceries last. But maybe it has. I don't know. So I have that on the trickle charger. So now I'm drinking the last of my bourbon, and I'm going to be drinking rum later, which those of you guys that are familiar with me, you know that Dr. Pepper and rum I find way too sweet. But
you're going to cry about it.
I'm going to cry about it later when I switch. But it is a thing. It is going to be a thing. All right. Moving right along. Getting into the meat of the show. Again, guys. Fair warning. Like I said, if we don't respond right away, we'd love you. There's the Discord links there. Definitely, if we miss anything, there we go. But we'll be responding, talking as we get into the meat, the core of the show. But speaking of cons, as we're jumping in, hey, first topic. Officially, we did talk about it a little while ago. Gamescom, which you guys aren't familiar, is kind of almost like an E3, but for Europe, based out of Germany. They did say back in April, we talked about it, that it is canceled due to COVID, and that pretty much a lot of things Europe is even canceling even further out than the US is. A lot of things all the way through like October are canceled. So, but the Gamescom, they have announced like kind of their other version they're doing instead of it, which is going to be their digital only thing. It's called Gamescom Now. It is going to be the end of August, the 27th through the 30th. So kind of similar like we talked about with E3 and EA and all them moving to like an online type of thing. Gamescom is also doing that as well. So it's going to be on their actual website through there. And I'm assuming it's going to be streamed probably on Twitch and all that as well. Because let's be realistic. They kind of, you know, they branch out as much as possible, a lot of these things, and restream it. But Gamescom Now, going to be free to watch. You don't have to worry about anything like that. The presentation, the opening presentation is still going to be hosted by Jeff Keighley. The guy who normally does it with the opening ceremony kind of thing, the opening night live showcase. So he's still going to be doing it. It's just going to be online. And if you guys remember last week, we talked about Jeff Keighley's summer showcase that he's doing with all the online stuff due to COVID and all that. So his show already that's online, he's also going to be hosting it. And then also with this for Gamescom. Opening night live showcase. Throughout the 3 days that weekend, they're going to have, indie games, daily shows, developer interviews, whole bunch of fun stuff to really kind of, just like E3 is for us, this is a European version. Closes the night of the 30th with their awards show still going to be hosted just online. So you're still getting the full effect. You're just not walking around. Same kind of like with our E3 type of thing. Once again, we'll talk about the other one here in a second. But the first thing to broach in that as well is kind of the obvious answer since we talk about PAX. Do we think now we've seen another thing? Yeah, it's Europe. But we've seen another thing. This is end of August. This is the same time that PAX West would be. Yeah, it's Europe. Yep. But it's that same weekend. What are our thoughts? We've talked about it a couple weeks ago. As of right now, PAX West is still a thing. Do you guys think, as of right now, hypothetically, do you think that West is going to happen? Yeah, it's okay. We're not going to come back in weeks. We're not going to come back in a month and bitch at you saying that you were wrong.
What do you think, Rumored?
I don't think it's going to happen. And personally, I think it's because of the election. Like, I think things will start kind of calming down after that.
Oh yeah, that is this year, isn't it?
Yeah,
I don't even know what day it is.
2020 is just, I think it's washed. I firmly believe, and it sucks because West is my favorite, but
yeah. I think that they're going to continue to push forward for it to be open. I think it's going to be, even if it does happen, it'd be a mistake. Because I mean, I will most likely go, but I mean, like, I'll be wearing gloves and a mask, and you know, it's not going to be the same.
Yeah.
Right. Because I'm not going to be hugging people, touching people. I'll be like, hey, how's it going? Trying to breathe through a mask. It's going to suck. You know, and the only reason I would go is because it's right up the street from me.
Yeah, and as somebody flying from across the nation, you know, I went ahead and made a reservation for it just because also with my thing, I can book without penalty of canceling up to like 3 days before. So I booked my room, but even right now, like Disciple said, even if they do have it, I don't know if I'm going to go because I don't know. I don't know that there's anything besides hanging. The main draw is like hanging out, getting to meet people, getting to talk to people as well, like sponsors and all that kind of stuff. A lot of that this year is moving online. All these, you know, game demos, interviews, you know, all this kind of stuff. And even like sponsors I could reach out to just as much online right now with the way that the world is.
It's the exact same. I mean, there's been no change even before the pandemic. That you still, in order to get sponsored, you still send them your media deck to, you know, and it's like, hey, but now you can put a face to that email. Yeah, that's the advantage that it gave you. Yeah, and that's it. That's really it. There's, I mean, the other thing is, it's you know, it's our hangout. Social. Yeah, it's our hangout. You know, a couple hours during the day, so, you know, getting that face, you know, so that way you get a card and an actual person to email, not just a company. But yeah, honestly, we could all fly to Texas for way cheaper and just do our own con. You know, or just everybody fly to Florida and come hang out with me because nobody ever comes and visits me at Disney. Texas is the cheapest place for everyone to fly to, though. Yeah, but it's Texas.
Well, hell, we drove it. I can't drive to Seattle.
True. Right. True. I mean, I could drive to Texas in, you know, a week. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's yeah, and then you know, another thing, like if West does happen. I was already thinking this is the same weekend. Everything's going to be online. I feel like half the time I'm going to be wanting to get done with the convention floor. I'm probably going to, I most likely do like a live stream or an IRL and kind of talk about the con. But then I'm going to be sitting there and talking about Gamescom and everything too that's coming out that whole weekend, like everything that day that's all online. So I feel like almost since this is online, it might even overshadow PAX West because you're not getting as much as that interaction, that person to person because of the pandemic, because of everything. So at the end of the day, you're still just kind of watching videos and all that kind of stuff. And if they have more debuts and shit coming from Gamescom, which is arguably, even though West is the biggest, I would say Gamescom is a more worldwide kind of thing, just kind of like E3 is. It's probably going to be overshadowed. We don't play worldwide games. We play for the majority. We play U.S. games. I mean, well, I'm just saying, like you know, like E3, like the debut of like games or whatever. Whereas like you go to a convention and you're getting to play like demos and these things for the first time. If all of this is going to be online or a standoffish type of arrangement, anyways, who's going to have the bigger presence in that online sphere? It's probably going to be Gamescom, is what I see it as. Yeah, for that weekend, for just that weekend. Yeah. Only because it's the pandemic is still going to be affecting us even then. Yeah. Regardless if they start opening up states and they start doing these big events, I mean, it's still going to be affecting us in some way. Yeah. Because there's a lot of people like, I mean, I'm hoping that even then flights will still be a fraction of capacity, right? So they'll be, you know, they'll have open rows and, you know, the whole thing like they should be doing. Yeah. Hopefully up until that point. So, I mean, that's going to, a lot of people won't make it strictly because of that. So I mean, attendance will be lower. But and you know, I think most people will be too scared. Yeah. Like I know a lot of people, like even if it does open, they're like, hell no, I'm not even going to take that chance. Yeah. Yep. Yep. I agree. I think that's a lot of thing. And I said, you know, weeks ago when we first talked about West, main reason this is coming back up is, like I said, it's the same weekend that West would be. I said that if they do decide to cancel it, I think, you know, obviously, yes, keep pushing forward because it is still a ways out. I get them trying to be optimistic, et cetera, et cetera. But if they do decide to cancel it, they need to cancel it by the end of June. That's all I'm asking. You know, I don't want them to like it to be, you know, July and then cancel it. If you give 2 months out,
it'll be July.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
It'll be July.
Yeah,
that's how they're gonna do it.
Yeah,
because they're gonna, you know, locking down vendors, locking down. Yeah, I was at East.
East happened. Okay. No,
Yeah,
E3 hasn't happened yet, right?
E3 got canceled. Yep.
And that would have been July.
July, but when did they cancel it?
When did they cancel it? About a month ago. Well,
2 weeks after East. So no, that was
I'd say about 2 months ago. Yeah, no, a month ago was when they announced like all the we talked about they announced kind of the shows, and we talked about it more last week. Hashtag plug for past episodes on YouTube if you want to go see the topics and the whole thing about it.
But something else to consider, even if West happens, I mean, think about how many vendors would probably pull out anyway.
And that's my thing, and I've said this about other ones.
Every international vendor is pulling out, guaranteed.
Yeah.
Done.
Yep.
So there's that. So and that doesn't make up a large portion, but it makes up a decent portion. Yeah. Right? Just say a third.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Or, you know, are people coming from other countries to come and pitch their games?
Yeah, and that's why I said, you know, it hurts those smaller developers that are coming from other countries, because that's a lot of money. Even if they get that back there, but it's still plane tickets. Yeah, exactly. Those developers that are not big AAA developers, those medium to small developers that they're saving up, and this is what I've always said, they're saving up to come to PAX, and they're building a demo, getting all the plane tickets, the lodging, the everything. Some of that, yes, a lot of it they'll be able to get back, but maybe not some of it. And also there's the time effort of building a demo or a working demo for their game for PAX West, and now it's all for naught. They could have been actually working on their game or something like they're, you know, the time is also a factor for these developers, you know, so that's why I hope that
marketing budget it's usually around 100,000 plus, you know, for a small developer like that. And I mean, they're gonna obviously not take that chance.
Yeah, exactly. Why risk it?
If it cancels, you're committed to a large fraction of that no matter what.
Yep. So
I mean, I feel like it's gonna be a no. People will start pulling out, and it's just not gonna happen. Yeah, that's my fear.
I'm glad that Gamescom canceled, you know, and they canceled way back in the day. They canceled like back in early April. So it's been over a month that they canceled. Which I like. So that's why I'm hoping that PAX sooner rather than later makes that decision. You know, that's all I'm hoping for.
Do you think if they do cancel it, I mean, do you think that they'll try to do some sort of online thing like that, like what Gamescom is doing?
They'll do like something, but I don't see PAX. PAX was never, at least the couple that I've been to, is not a huge thing where it's like they have like premieres and things like that, like an E3 or developers like kind of doing like, hey, this is our live, you know, first showing of it. They will probably have a smaller thing, but I just don't see it. You know, like we got like demos and things like that, but how much of it was like, oh, this is a worldwide premiere, you know, video or things like that? That didn't really happen at PAX as much. So I don't know how much they would have content-wise to throw up online that weekend.
That's true.
So.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. That being said, the other lovely information, which I think I just have it on the same one. Gamescom, we also have Gen Con, which for those of you guys that don't know is tabletop convention, the biggest tabletop convention in the U.S. That is officially canceled as well. Was supposed to be end of July so July 30th through the 2nd. It's in Indiana now. This is the first time in over 50 years it's been canceled. Really kind of sucks, obviously, given, like we said, we always talk about it, how it affects our industry. It's a given. It's understandable. It sucks that it's getting canceled, but, you know, it is what it is. Last year, they had over 70,000 people in attendance. Hi, K-Cat. You're about to destroy something, aren't you? Also, along with it, in the same thing, though, Gen Con is canceled, and Essen Spiel, I think is how you pronounce it, is the kind of European version. Talking about the European versions of these things and the comparison and contrast. Yeah. The European version of Gen Con, their tabletop, which is actually even bigger. That has 210,000 people last year that went. That is also canceled. That was supposed to be in October normally. All that really sucks. I mean, if any of you guys out there are tabletop, I think the industry that is getting hurt the most, and that's the biggest thing, how they're going to come out of it, is like the tabletop side of gaming. Not just D&D, but even just like tabletop games in general. You figure video games are maybe not thriving right now, but they kind of are. everybody's staying home playing.
They are thriving.
Yeah, you know, like I don't want to say
doing bad. I mean, like, because so I'm still into a lot of tabletop games, and I sell a lot of the ones that I buy and then don't play or played and don't really like.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, a lot of people are still buying them. I mean, and even people are, you know, price gouging if they're not available, because a lot of stores that sell them aren't even doing online, you know.
That's what I wasn't sure about, is because I was just going to ask if either, you know, you guys, and I know you have that. I know, like, Warlock, if he's out there.
There's still the top 3 board game distributors are still, because they were mostly an online presence anyways.
Okay.
Because, you know, brick and mortar tabletop stores, like, pretty much died except for GameWorks.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and that's...
and even then, where can you find you know, one of those anymore? Like,
right.
I feel like
they used to be in every major town. Yeah, like every mall, everything, and now it's
I used to play my Mech Warrior
town.
Yeah.
Right.
But I mean, the thing is, like, and I'm curious how, just as a brand, as a company, we have these getting canceled, which, you know, is a huge draw for tabletop folks. You know, go and it's not just, like I said, for those of you guys that aren't familiar, we're not talking just like D&D miniatures or Hero Clicks and all that, because I don't even know if Hero Clicks is still a thing. But like Warhammer, all that kind of stuff.
Not really.
But we're talking like also just even like tabletop games, even going like, you know, board game wise, you know, your more traditional one that people heard of, like Catan, things like that. That's also included. And you know, the thing that I think is hurting this COVID wise more than anything is not only are we losing these conventions for the people that really love playing these, and even like developers trying to get, you know, funding, the same thing, like we said, those smaller companies going, hey, come try our game, and getting to spiel for the first time, you know, and having people try it at this convention. But also, like, with this, you know, social distancing, how often are people getting together to play these games? You know, and moving forward.
That's the other problem is, you know, is I mean, some people will still play them with their family, right? They're meant to be 4-player board games, and then you play 2-player, and, you know, the experience isn't the same. It's like, oh man, this is gonna be really fun playing with our couple friends once, you know, social distancing isn't a thing.
2 years from now, when I'm able to go back outside.
Right. I mean, that may be the case. I mean, honestly, most people that I know are breaking social distance.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I know a lot of people as well. And meanwhile, I'm just sitting in my house, and I don't know.
Right. I would just say in general, most people are. You know, they're hanging out with their friends, and I
see it constantly.
Yeah, I mean, like, Warlock doesn't get within 5 feet of me, like, and you know, like you know. He's like, hey man, how's it going? I'm like, yeah, man, let me open the door for you. He's like, no, I'm okay. He's like, I'll stay out here.
I'll tell you, I'm good. I'm gonna hang right over here.
He's pretty serious about the social distancing, which is good, because I mean, it affects a lot of people. So I mean, if I got him sick, or his wife sick, or
no, and it's true. So that's why those things are supposed to be in place, is to kind of help that. And then all over my Snapchat, I see people hanging out and all that, and then a lot of us just don't like people to begin with. So that's why this works for me. And
I'm in my own little area.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's what's kind of unfortunate, because like Missouri, we just started getting like some taste of it, and we shut the state down, you know. And then I think last week they started opening it back up. And to me, for a state that hasn't quite been affected yet, I mean, it's going to come. And if you're kind of removing all the social distancing and opening everything back up, like, we're going to get hit hard, and it's just going to make
it could.
Long.
And they're gonna regret it, and it's gonna, you know, and then that affects everywhere else that spreads from there.
Yep.
Everywhere else.
And then we have this conversation again in 2 months, when we're all like literally not able to go outside under curfew again.
Stuck.
Like we in Florida, we had a curfew for when it first came out. I think I remember talking about, like, we had a curfew when it first started locking down. Like, unless you were like going to your job and all, you'd get like pulled over, and you had to have like forms or whatever in my county and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Yep. I couldn't be out after like 7 p.m. and I was like, fucker, I'm just waking up at 7 p.m. Like, shit, like, hey, this day and age.
I was looking for a taco time.
Yeah,
Taco
exactly.
Bell,
yeah, dude, like, I just woke up, man. I don't know.
Back to my house I go.
So, but yeah, of course, like I said, we, you know, not to start off the show on a downer, you know, we never want to do that. Right. But I mean, these are things that, you know, do affect our industry. And one of the bigger things that, you know, was announced this week. So definitely, you know, we got to talk about it. That's what this, you know, show is about. And in general, we're going to talk about it either way. Good, bad, ugly, ugly. Good and bad either way. It's gonna be talked about. So but we'll move right along. And I can't wait till I get like actual nifty transitions and fun like little things and all that, because I'm gonna have like so many buttons that I press. I have like this whole like spreadsheet of things for the web show, guys. Like pretty much majority of my focus at this point for my stream is this web show. Like all these plans that I have, because I'm having just as much fun like doing this web show, and I spend more time like planning out this web show every week and getting all the stuff figured out than I do at the rest of my stream at this point. Like I have this whole thing I want to do, like moving into the good guy company of the week. I want a little transition thing that I could press and like good guy company of the week, because we do that enough on here. So speaking of,
I agree.
Good guy company of the week this week, Razer. So even though I'm not a huge fan of Razer products, I don't use them. I do love the Razer Wolverine. But other than that, like Razer products are for me. But good guy company of the week. They are the CEO, everything, based out of Singapore. I think we might have talked about way back when it was first announced, when they were hit. They did a lot of things for the country when COVID and that first kind of hit them. But they are here by the end of the month, by June 1st, they're going to have 20 face mask vending machines in Singapore, in some of the more populated areas. So that way you could actually buy single-use vending face masks and all that, or if you need one or whatever, and they're going to be constantly restocked, and that's going to be restocked by Razer. Not only that, but and that's coming from their manufacturing, because they did change over, and I think we did mention it a couple weeks ago. They changed over their manufacturing plants to one of them or two of them, I don't know how many exactly, but a portion of their manufacturing by like mid-April to just wholly making face masks. So they're one of those companies that did that and actually started making face masks for the world and for Singapore itself. But that took them like 24 days or something like that, and they had that like up and running. It changed over, fully automated face mask setup. As of the 24th of last month, they'd shipped over 1 million masks overall. So imagine by now how many that is. Like I was saying, how many they had done. But moving forward, also with this rollout of the face mask vending machines, they are going to be giving 5 million masks for free to Singapore residents 16 and older. So they're just going to be giving out free face masks to everybody in the country as well, along with all the other ones that they're planning doing. And they're hoping to up that to 10 million in the near future as well. So they're going to be giving them out, but also if you need one on the fly for what, I don't know why you would necessarily, if you go out with one, I don't know why you would need to buy one from a vending machine. I don't know, maybe something, I don't know, but it's there, I don't know.
Cough directly on it.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I don't know exactly the scenario for it, but it's there, they have it, it's one of those things that we're able to actually purchase them, from these regions. They're coming from, and I'm pretty sure they're the disposable ones. So maybe that's why, you just need another one for a quick trip or something. But yeah, those are going to be in the more popular area, and I think that's cool. And just Razer in general having such a focus on, helping out, which some companies have not, that could have easily adjusted their production as well. You wouldn't think Razer being a company that would do that. Like, oh, who can help out in making face masks? Oh, let's computer and gaming peripheral company. Yeah, they're company. Yeah. It's like just random company here that makes Xbox controllers and shit like that. Yeah, they're gonna switch over their whole production line to automate making face masks by the millions. So good on fucking them.
That's awesome.
Finish my drink there.
I'm happy to see a company like Razer, continue to follow through with, doing good things with all the money they make, selling people, keyboards that cost $4 to make, and you sell it for $150.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly. Yeah, they're doing their part, and that's all you can ask.
About time.
Yeah.
Like
I said,
makes you wonder how many companies are gonna follow suit. Like, hey, this major company is doing this, we need to do something too.
Hopefully.
There's been a lot of companies that I've seen out there, like MetaThreads for one, right? So if you buy one of their masks, they take the proceeds, which is approximately 2 more masks, and they donate those to the medical field.
I have seen a lot of those that are doing at least, or like buy one and donate one, like that kind of thing. A lot of those like clothing or printing companies I have seen doing a lot of that. Yeah. At least kind of like partnership, which is cool.
That's amazing. I mean, I see a few, but there aren't enough. right? That you would think that a lot of people making a lot of money on what's going on, and you would think more companies, because I mean, Razer, I don't know, is Razer making a whole lot of money during this time? Maybe, because everyone's selling out of Elgato stuff. People have to buy Razer stuff. I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah.
And maybe that's how that works.
Raging, and we can't buy. Microsoft isn't making enough controllers, and they're having to buy, the other ones. I don't know.
Or with this Apex sound issue, everybody thinking it's their headsets.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
could be. Razer headsets are probably one of the better products they make.
Yeah.
Right, because I've felt like their keyboard and mice were terrible.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of their keyboard and mouse. I will say that Xbox controller Wolverine, I do stand by that. I bought that instead of the Elite. Yeah. Like I said, still have not tried the Elite 2, but I don't play my Xbox as much more. So I had 3 of the original Elite controllers, and I just got tired of buying them.
I had 7.
Yeah.
So I feel you.
Yeah. So I loved that controller. Well, I loved it, and I loved the paddles and everything, but that's why, and I ended up going, you know what? I'm tired of buying a new controller constantly. Let me try out this Razer Wolverine Ultimate or whatever it was. Tried it, loved it. I thought it was great. That was before the Elite 2 came out. I don't play my Xbox as much anymore, so maybe I would get an Elite 2, to try it, but yeah.
Beautiful.
What?
Went to the dark side.
I mean, I don't know if it's the dark side. I just finally had more people to play with on PC, and
Ooh la la. Gotta keep up with Disciple.
Hold on, wait. I'm just showing off my mouse that is the same price, pretty much.
Okay,
I was like, here's my controller. Yeah. My other one's plugged. Yeah, my other one's plugged in.
Mouse.
Which yeah, you don't have exactly the same one.
Get that ghetto mouse out
I was gonna say that's like the $20 version.
You wanna see something better?
Oh Lord.
Oh, wireless keyboard.
Found at your local State Farm office. You want one.
Yeah, I was saying, how much did that cost you? I would say, I can unplug or show.
$25 for the combo.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I'm like, yeah. Meanwhile, me and Disciple, like our kit and all that.
$110 for a little miniature keyboard.
Yeah, exactly. I can throw.
I'm not gonna lie though. I will give you like PC games. The only one I've ever played is Apex. But the difference between Apex, PC, and Xbox.
Night and day.
Like it almost.
And nobody believed me. All of you guys, like Disciple, I'm not saying, but so many people. I was just like, I didn't have to tell you, but constantly people were like, "Why are you on PC?" I'm like, "Here's why." Like either way, like one mouse, keyboard, yeah, but it does not compare playing this on PC to playing on Xbox. I remember having this argument with Pac before he switched, and finally I got Pac to switch. He was like, "Holy shit,
he's wrong."
He's
wrong.
And I was like, so many people were so like, I guess it's like, oh, it's not that much better. I'm like, dude, you're like at 30 frames, all right, and you're telling me that your 30 frames compares to my 160. Yeah, it's like you're saying that compares to my 160 frames that I'm getting at 1440. If I was 1080, I'd be getting 240 frames, but at 1440, I'm still getting 160 frames. There's no comparison at all.
There's not.
But really everybody was just like, "Oh, it's not that much of a difference." Yeah, it might not look that much of a difference on stream because you're still only getting 60 frames. But
I can visually see the difference between someone streaming console and PC.
Well, even just frames, but yeah,
unless their PC is shit.
Yeah, and they're like turning down like quality, like 100%.
But then maybe I'd be like, "Oh, you playing on that Xbox?" So, oh no, man, this is a PC.
That i3 processor with a NVIDIA, 770 or something like that. Every once in a while I run into somebody who's like streaming with that or like gaming on that, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" Like at that point, just play on your console.
It's like my stream won't even run on that.
I know, like fuck. Yeah, I know. Fuck. I push my stream to run on my rig. I run a fucking max shit, and every once in a while, it still likes to give me shit. But yeah. Anyways, as always, getting a little off topic. But long story short, Razer, good guy company of the week. Keep up the good work, Razer. Moving right along. What the fuck is the next topic? Hold on, let me make sure I'm on the right. Okay, there we go. Because I couldn't tell which way I flipped my thing, and I forgot which way I needed to flip it. All right, moving on.
I knew which way you needed to flip your thing.
Yeah. Oh, I'm on the wrong page. There we go.
Way.
Oh, I don't have. Well, I don't have the visual, but I mean the audio still went. That's what matters. But next topic, Call of Duty League. Well, also Call of Duty and Overwatch. So they're kind of grouped together, announced this week as well with, they are going to be doing YouTube drops. So all the Activision and Blizzard pairings, mainly Call of Duty and Overwatch. There's talks about a couple others, but Call of Duty League will now be pairing with YouTube and their site to give you in-game drops. You know, they're called like in-game rewards, but essentially they're activating drops for watching the Call of Duty League and also the Overwatch League. Soon, it doesn't say exactly what, but they are going to be, it's through, you have to watch through their website or the accompanying Call of Duty app on your phone, is what I'm saying. I'd assume also on YouTube, their channel on YouTube. I could not clarify this, so maybe don't hold me to it, but I would assume, being that they're utilizing the YouTube factor of doing the drops, I would assume their YouTube channel is how you'd be able to also watch and get, but that's just my assumption.
That's my assumption as well. When I went and I looked, that was my assumption as well.
Yeah, so that's like how I'm reading it. I did try to look for a definite answer, yes, but all it officially said is watching through their website or through their app, but it is utilizing the YouTube drop system. So my assumption is that their official page that is going to be broadcasting these matches on YouTube, I'd assume that you're able to get those drops on there as well for both that and Overwatch. Watch on the website or respective companion app. The Overwatch one, so like I have Call of Duty here below us, but the Overwatch ones as well, they're the other one, can be used on any platform, any of the skins or any of the drops that you get, PC, Xbox, any of that. They just you have to have your battle.net linked to your account, your Xbox account, your PS4 account, whatever it is. You just have to have it linked. So cool. Obviously, there's more talk about, you know, the drops and all that, whether they're good, bad. We all saw Valorant and all that kind of stuff. But I think this is good. And I personally, I mean, I think every pro scene should do this realistically. I'm coming from, you know, Smite for the last couple of years. Smite has been doing this for a long time, whether on Mixer or whatever. Like they would have or in Twitch, they would at least, even if there wasn't drops at the time, they would have in chat, they would give out a code that you would go to their website and you would redeem that for a free skin. So it gives incentive to watch these pro leagues and really get more hype for your game and for your brand. So I think that it works. That being said, I think that it's a great thing. And Disciple's not here right now, so I'm posing this just to you, Rumored, and I'll say it again. When Mixer, so, you know, obviously there's a lot of good, bad stuff, you know, about Mixer that we've seen or whatever. So YouTube has this. Twitch just had Valorant, which, of course, the Riot, they have their partnership and all that as well. Mixer, we've had Smite, which was kind of half-ass paired with it, honestly. You know, as somebody who was a Smite person, it was kind of a half-assed partnership. It wasn't really pushed to its full extent. I think that both sides of it could have done a lot better. But then what? Our other partnership for a thing has been, what? Forza, which is a Microsoft.
Oh, hang on. I think you went offline. Kdog.
Oh, I did. I see that it's reconnecting. Yay, Mixer! Yay, Mixer!
I know, right?
I can still chat, though. Yay! Wait, hold on. Yay, Mixer. Am I back? It says that I'm back. On my end, it says that I'm back online.
Let me refresh.
Am I back? Am I back?
Yep.
I was mid-rant, everybody. God damn it. Fuck you, Mixer.
We weren't talking.
I was mid-anecdotal question, all right? Fuck, what was I saying? All right. So Smite,
Mixer?
good. And then the other one that we've had, like, loot-wise, has been Forza. So like we had our other like pairing, and that's like Microsoft wise, we had we had like Forza, the tie-in where you could get Forza points. That was one of the other things, like with the 24/7 streams and all that. So those were like the two big core. Smite, I lump in Paladins and all high res games. But you know, just speculative wise, what do you think? I feel like we need a bigger something besides a random in-house game as a drop. We have this system on the platform. YouTube is getting this. I'm curious to see who Facebook gets next, because Facebook are is chomping at the bit. They're trying to do their thing. We have these bigger pro leagues and everything like that. These bigger games. You got to lock down something that's going to also draw people in, at least to the platform, to watch.
Exactly. I agree. Give them a reason, more reason.
Yeah. I mean, even if it's just lurking on the site, it works. Just hanging out. Smite, it kind of did it. Like I said, you did have the people, you get 1,000 people. Now, of course, that they're partner and they're all open on Twitch, YouTube, everything. It's not as much of a draw. But I think, as a platform, we're not going to get into the whole topic of Mixer, good or bad right now. That could fill up a whole fucking web show that we could do, and
right.
Things that could be better, things that whatever. That's a whole topic in and of itself. But I think drops, for what they are good overall for the platform. Obviously, we took a step to get rid of the 24/7s. But drops, I think, as a whole, are better for the platform. And with Twitch having their partnership with Riot, they have the Valorant drops and whatever else Riot comes out with on League-wise. Now, Overwatch and Blizzard have YouTube partnerships. I don't know who is left after those couple, but we need to fucking lock down somebody as a company to get some fucking drops. And I'm not talking Forza.
No. You need big companies. You need bigger. The bigger viewer base. Not. I don't know. To me, like, Forza it was nothing. I mean, Smite has got a good viewership. Don't get me wrong, but
yeah, it was never pushed really enough. Like all the high res stuff, it wasn't really. I don't know. The world champions, all that kind of stuff. It could have been better as somebody who even was like playing Smite and everything. There was a lot better opportunity there. Disciple, long story very short, Mixer kicked me offline, so you might need to rehost me or
serious?
Whatever. Yeah. So I'm back now though. Yay! Because it said, Kdog, you're mid rant. We're gonna kick you off. Yeah, I noticed it when everybody in chat.
Again?
Yep, I was.
I tried.
Yeah. So it's okay because the recording will still be good for the YouTube and the podcast. Because that still went going. Yeah, because as soon as I said the T word, as soon as I mentioned Twitch, they're like, nope, you're done.
I knew it.
But we were talking about, obviously that I was just asking, like, drop wise. I don't know. I asked a couple of things, but are they, what I asked there at the end as you were coming back is, Riot has, their drops, on Twitch. Now YouTube has their companion drops and linked up with now Overwatch. Maybe not necessarily all of Blizzard, but Overwatch at least. League, Call of Duty League.
Overwatch and Call of Duty, yeah.
Like, I feel like if this platform is going to get anything and utilize the drop system, like, fucking find a way to partner with Fortnite, some way to get a pro league. Because esports, especially is becoming a thing.
You definitely need something relevant in what Mixer has as a genre, and really what our main focus to me is FPS, creative, and somewhat Smite.
Yeah. I mean Smite,
that's questionable because they also rebroadcast on Twitch.
Well, Smite now has, they came out this year after their contract and everything ended. Now they're across all platforms, which is like good for them as a brand. Because in my opinion, I never felt that, even though it was good quality, I never personally felt that the way that they approached on the Mixer side of it, maybe, I don't know, like from what I never felt that it was pushed correctly on the platform. And as somebody who
pushed it all.
as somebody who watches and enjoys Smite, it wasn't like, hey, we're hosting the Smite championships, this week coming up. Like, if you weren't a Smite person, like, maybe somebody who wouldn't have watched Smite otherwise would have been like, hey, the world championship is this week, this weekend. I'm gonna go see what this game is about. And because the broadcast, I loved watching the world championships. They're so much fun, even if you don't like watching the game. Yeah,
there was one really good commentator that I remember, and then the other one I didn't quite like. Mm-hmm. That was my takeaway, because half of my experience is hearing their voice.
Yeah.
So
there were like 5 or 6 different commentators. So depending on the match, they would have different, or depending on the day, they would have different people in that, and they would swap out who was shoutcasting, who would interview.
There was a really cute girl that I remember.
Taco.
Because
I know. Yeah, she's yeah.
So like I remember her, and you know she was pretty good. I liked
She was
her.
I liked F dot. You know, I know them all because I know who I like and who I don't like because I'm part of the community.
You
but
actually play the game, and that was your main game for a very long time. I know.
Yeah. But yeah,
and
no.
Most of the stuff I learned about Smite is from you, right?
Yeah.
Once we became friends, you're like, "Hey, I play this game." I'm like, "Well, let me give it a try. It's free." I'm like, "Oh my god, this is really fun, and I really love."
And then you dropped as much money as I've spent on it in like 4 years.
yeah, like in 1 week.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh yeah, man." When I had a nice job.
Yeah, let me buy these jizz. Yeah, the good old days when we had money. But yeah, you know, everything else, of course, like I said, so the Call of Duty drops, you know, and the Overwatch drops is awesome. Just, you know, the sidebar of it, I feel like as a platform, this, you know, sooner rather than later, this is something that we've kind of dabbled in with Forza and Smite. I think sooner rather than later, we need to utilize our own drop system because it's there. It actually is a decent system. It works.
Well, it works, right? And that's the thing is, it worked for several games. And the thing is, we need at least, we don't need a competitive edge, but we need at least the same benefits.
Yeah.
That these other service providers are giving.
Yep.
I mean, and if we don't get the opportunity, we can't compete.
Yeah. Yep. So sooner rather than later, and this is something that the drops on our end have been there from the get-go as long as I've been streaming on the platform. So this is like, you know, they've kind of newer worked them in like YouTube and all that kind of stuff. As long as I mean
really in the beginning, so before I was partner, I mean, what drops were there?
You had Forza and Smite on both of them. I mean, they weren't they were different. They had different partnerships.
Later, though. I mean, I'd already been streaming for like a year when those came out.
But yeah, you had different partnerships that they had with them, but you still could earn like the in-game points and things like that for quite a while. It's just that the partnerships and that kind of changed to make it more like prevalent, like mixer points. That's what drew a lot of people over on like Smite. But you had those drops, and then you know Forza, you had that. You had Halo that they did those drops for a while.
Yeah. So I think I was streaming for like eight months at that point. Like I was at like 809, you know, like 1,000 followers, and then that's when they first introduced those.
Yeah,
and I mean that had already been something on Twitch for 3 years, right? I mean, so I do feel like we're a little bit late to the game as far as that, but
yeah,
they just need to continue that. You know, finding partnerships to use drops.
Yeah, got it. Yeah, and like the Apex works. Like, I mean, let's be honest. Like, I don't play Fortnite, but you know what? If we can get a Fortnite partnership, or you know, getting those Apex coins, the same type of thing. Like figuring something out. You know, otherwise it's not gonna.
And they did have those Apex coins in the very beginning, but then, like after 2 months or whatever, I don't think things panned out, or they didn't get the viewership they thought they would, and they immediately signed with Twitch.
Yeah.
And then they have exclusive Twitch drops now.
Yeah. Yep. It's only gonna get more. It's only gonna get harder the more we let slide through our fingers drop wise. Right. But long story short,
the brand new Lobo one is available on you know, Twitch Prime.
Yep. Long story short, if you want exclusive things, if you're watching the Call of Duty League or the Overwatch League, you now get in-game drops. Watch it on their website, watch it on their app, and you'll get it through. I'm assuming you'd have to also have like the YouTube thing because it utilizes their system. But you'll have that, and you're good to go, and get in-game skins and all that kind of other fun stuff. So, yay if you play like all that kind of stuff. And Call of Duty, I think, would be the main one for a lot of us. But moving right along. Epic Store now finally is Epic Store now is finally, speaking of people coming in late to the game, and you know, as much as I love Epic Store at all, Epic Store is now finally on the same page as Steam, long story short. So this week they did announce that they are rolling out the automatic refund abilities. Before you had to submit a ticket and kind of wait for Epic support and wait for them to get back to you and approve it, yada yada. Now
case by case basis.
Yeah, case by case, exactly. So now the Epic Store has finally gotten into the year 2020, where you could just go into your account, hit transactions, select the game that you got, and you know, ask for a refund and have it be automatic. Stipulations are pretty much the same as Steam. It has to be within 14 days. You have to have under 2 hours played, and you have to not have been banned. You can still be denied if Epic feels that you're abusing the system.
Yeah.
I'm gonna close that. So that's like normal.
Steam has the same stipulation.
Yeah, exactly. If they feel that you're abusing it. That being said, I think it's great. Finally, it's something that was needed. One of those things that I bitched about that they didn't have on Epic Store. So slowly but surely, they're actually, getting better. I still like Steam better. But Sorry,
go ahead.
No, I was to say, I think Steam also still has a little bit more leeway, because also if you look up the Steam's like refunding, they have those stipulations, but then they're like, hey, if it's outside this, or even if you're outside the 2 weeks, email us, we'll look at it or whatever.
They gave me a refund on Doom after like 28 days.
Yeah, so it's like,
well, you only played it 2.8 hours. I'm like, dude, it gave me motion sickness.
Yeah, and I still feel like Steam is a little bit better overall. I still feel that Steam is better for the customer, but at least Epic Store is making steps.
Do you have the Epic Store download on your gaming PC?
I can't hear you. We can't hear you. You're talking.
You're muted.
You're muted.
Have I been muted this whole?
Well, if you've said anything in my last rant.
Time you push the button, absolutely.
Yes. I mean, I normally watch, so I haven't noticed you saying anything.
I'm like, is it cutting her off, or is she just not talking? So I'm glad. That's why I wanted to get your attention and make sure.
Wow. Okay, that's great. So
we weren't just ignoring you. We promise.
Yeah, just ignore me. It's fine.
We should have not said anything for the whole rest of the web show, guys, and just kept going the whole time. Just well, Rumor doesn't have anything to say. Moving right along.
Rumor's quiet. Rumor's just
here
exactly. Drink with you guys. No, I do not have Epic Store. I do have Steam though.
Okay.
So
did you know that the Epic Store right now has GTA 5 with a whole bunch of coins for free?
I think that ended though. It was. I think it was only for a week. I'm not sure. I didn't download it. I haven't. I needed to. I meant to. Well, here I'll find out right now. Let me open up the
GTA 5.
Oh yeah,
it's still on at the moment. So if you download the Epic Store, you can get free GTA 5 for your PC.
Stop it.
And they give you a whole bunch of coins. So now we can all play the role play crap that everyone's like, oh, it's so much fun.
Yeah, the mod and all that.
And we can actually see if it's fun.
Yeah.
Deal.
I do recommend to everybody the Epic Games Store is good for that. If nothing else, they do have those free games of the month, or sometimes for the week.
Have 50 free games.
Yeah.
Every week they rotate and they give you a new free game. And even as content creators, I mean, if you're feeling a little bit bored with your game, there's countless games that you can get from here. I mean. They definitely have their problems, but at the same time, I mean, they're also, I don't see Steam giving me free games.
True, that's true.
Yep, GTA is still free.
Yeah, I'm loading mine up right now. It's taking forever. I don't know why.
And you know what? You don't even have to start installing. All you have to do is go through the process of buying it for free, and then it's yours forever.
Same kind of how Xbox is, where you just you buy it. Yeah, you just buy it.
Like Game Pass. Where it's here you get to have it for a week or 2 weeks.
Not Game Pass, but the games with gold,
Xbox
those type
Gold,
of things,
gold,
that same concept.
The game, right? So the game is free if you click the download within that month, but if you wait, it's no longer. But as long as you went through the buy process for that free game, it's yours forever as long as you have gold.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
The more you know.
Why is
the more you know. That's right. Holy cow. Now I'm just gonna gaze.
Oh my god. Of course, it's oh, we need to update, and it's oh, it signed me out. Just I'm not doing this right now. It's asked for 2-factor. Somebody remind me. Well, no, that's gonna. Somebody remind me. Oh, god damn it. All right. Well, here, hold on. As we're talking about next topic, and I'll do it while you guys are responding. So. Moving right along. Well, actually, the next thing, I can't do it because the next thing has a video. Hi, Basie. Hi, everybody. And by the way, also, for those of you guys that were here, love you guys, long time. If anybody that did host or had hosted, has not rehosted, we would appreciate it, seeing that Mixer kicked me offline there for a second. But next topic, moving right along. New, officially announced The Last of Us 2 PlayStation 4 bundle. Honestly.
Nope.
Looks sexy. Couple things about it, apprehensive a little bit. But before we even, here, I'll bring this up and we can We can look at this really quick. Hold on, where'd it go? Whoop. Oh, I didn't copy your guys over. You guys won't be here. I forgot. The last thing I forgot to do was copy you guys over.
Wow.
Giggity giggity.
Well, I was busy doing so many other things, and I was like, oh, I finished everything early today. Of course, I forget one thing.
Absolutely bullshit.
Yeah.
Man.
Well, you guys
No
just. There we go.
None. Zilch.
You have no
So this is the
idea
announced
what you're
trailer
walking into.
for the limited edition bundle. It has a little bit of the
How large that
game.
group is.
That
How
engraving.
armed?
I don't care. So, I'll get you guys over onto it a little bit before we look at some of the other things.
That was so nice.
Yeah,
that was the dumbest
yeah.
trailer ever.
Yeah, but I mean,
Oh
it
my
showed a little
God.
bit. The pictures and all, I show a little bit. You know, it's 30-second little announcement thing.
bit of this, a little bit
But
of
last
that.
month, 1 month away, limited edition PS4 Pro bundle. It is going to be including a controller. The limited edition controller, which I'll have the pics up for in a second, the PS4 Pro, the game, and a voucher for digital theme, avatars, and other goodies, quote unquote. It actually said other goodies. Even though that sounds like something that I would say, it literally it said other goodies.
Wow.
So
like
the
other
actual
goodies.
design of it here, let me cover you guys over. Well, here, I'll just do this. I should have done it before. I didn't realize
Oh, did you
whatever.
see that?
So the actual design for it, I'm just gonna pull up. Let me do a little bit. I had another one. This is the actual PlayStation blog and all that. They can still hear and everything. Don't worry. I just don't have you guys visually here because I didn't copy over the.
Don't worry, I'm teabagging you.
Yeah, sounds great.
Virtually.
Oh,
Is it
wait.
virtual?
Anyways, so this is the actual PS4 Pro here. Like I said, bundle, it's $400. The cool thing about it is that this is actually engraved, like they kind of showed during that video. That's part of the reason I want to show the video. This isn't a decal or anything, guys. This is the actual unit itself is engraved, so it actually has the depth and all
You're
that.
charging us $400 for an engraved old.
I know, I'm getting there. Calm down. Let me talk about what it is, and then we can talk about how stupid it is. All right, give me a second.
Okay.
let me set the groundwork, and then we can discuss. All right.
All right. Sorry.
So
You're
has
hitting my
I know,
nerves.
I know, no, I know. So the engraving here, it would be easier if I had your guys' pictures here so we could see your thing, but that's why I want to go back to the other scene for it, and then I'll get it for the other images and that. But so $400 has the actual engraving here. A couple other things, the controller. So you see the actual engraving there. The controller. This is their blog post, so I was just doing that. The controller isn't engraved, but does have the Fern decal, which is something that is that's Ellie's tattoo in the new game, so that's why it's just a huge part. It's integral to kind of like the game, the whole kind of like theme. It's something that they wanted to do, really something that stands and kind of signifies this game as her tattoo that you kind of see, and it's very unique. I'm assuming maybe plays into the story somewhat. I don't know. It's just something that the developers decided this is something that kind of represents and a good branding for the game, was her Fern tattoo. So that's the controller. The controller can be standalone for $65 if you want to buy the controller. Also not included in the PS4 Pro bundle, but standalone if you want to get it. The PlayStation Gold headset does have a Last of Us Part 2 headset, has the Fern on the inside of the headband. We'll talk about that in a second. And that is $100 for a new PS Gold headset, and then a actual verified or whatever partnered external hard drive, 2 terabyte external Seagate hard drive, Last of Us with the Fern and the title and the cord and yada yada, and that is $90. All right, back to
You mean
talking
that's
about
not
it.
included in the in the bundle. That
The
$90.
the hard drive is not included. The only thing in the $400 bundle is the PS4 Pro, the controller, the game, and the goodies.
And the other goodies.
The other goodies, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Need this or Disciple.
yeah. So I mean, I'll let Disciples here. I'll add your guys in studio mode really quick. Disciples probably going to say the same things I was about to say, so go ahead and say it. As you feel about like price wise and this like what you were about to say before.
So this is the last version of a console that you're ever going to put out, and you're going to charge $400 for basically the exact same thing you've been charging $400 the last 2 years for, and you still expect to get money out of people. I mean, this is just a complete brand ripoff, and
my
this is
favorite-
why exclusives are absolute garbage. Is
You know what
because
my
they
favorite
go ahead.
part of their blog post is how difficult they said it was to figure out how to do the engraving.
Yeah, which I think is the one redeeming factor is, well, because I could see that like from a production line standpoint, like this is something that has to. I don't know, like I guess they would have to change it.
So it's a molded case,
yeah, so it'd be a different mold.
You would have to redo a mold.
Yeah.
Okay, so that mold costs 20 grand. Okay, you're
Right.
gonna make.
But I mean,
How many millions?
yeah, I agree. But I was saying, like, as a company, we were saying if any other company came to PlayStation and was like, hey, we want to do this special case, whatever, work with them, probably nobody else could. This is one of their in-house kind of companies. I think the engraving is cool. What I take away from this is maybe in the future, other systems might do like this kind of engraving and all that, might see it and be like, hey, this is cool. But I agree, $400 for the last iteration of this console before the new one. Like, if they said that this is the PS5 coming out with this engraving and everything, it came out, even though the game, if you said that Last of Us were also going to offer a PS5 with engraving and all that, a Last of Us limited PS5 for whatever, actually make it whatever, but a bundle with the engraving and all that, I would much rather that than a limited edition, cool looking, but $400 limited edition console that in 2 months is going to be obsolete to the new one.
It's a blatant money grab.
Yeah.
Exactly. You spend your $400 on this, and just like you said, in a couple months.
You're going to spend $600 to $700 on the PS5, which you won't even be able to play this game on. The goodies mean nothing.
Yeah, the goodies are...
the controller doesn't, as far as I know, doesn't even work, right?
On the new console, no, the new controllers and all that are all different. I think it's actually
except for the Elite 2, they say it works on the new Xbox.
Interesting.
Yeah, but we'll see though.
Yeah, because this is still the same DualShock. Yeah. Well, this is still the same DualShock 2, just with a different skin. It's not like they're releasing a new controller. So the Elite 2, I can kind of see.
And Xbox isn't releasing a new controller either, but the PS5 has a new controller.
Yeah.
So I mean, that kind of makes the case for, Xbox in that case. I mean, if we're comparing the two, I mean, so nothing you buy from that system transfers over. Not one thing. They're not even giving you like a digital theme for your PS5 for The Last of Us 2. Like, I at least thought they would have
hopefully
done that.
The theme transfers over. There is a theme included. Hopefully that transfers over, but I feel I doubt it. Yeah, I doubt it as well. I also feel that it's kind of money grabby. It's really cool. Would love it if the PS5 wasn't coming out in 4 months. This comes out next month. The PS5 comes out in 3 months after that.
November.
Yeah, or whatever.
October,
I'm just
November.
ballparking. Yeah, 3 months. Yeah. I don't know what time is anymore, thanks to COVID. I'm just saying 3 months.
So it's month 5. So let's say 5 months.
Six to 10. Yeah. So yeah, 4 months, 5 months from now. Yeah.
But correct me if I'm wrong. Aren't they already talking about delays?
So as of right for the PS5, everything that they have said, because we talked about this last week. They said everything is still on schedule. They are not going to be delaying. I think the only way that they delay right now is if Xbox decides to delay, because they have been behind Xbox every step of the way. And we've talked about this multiple with a lot of their press conferences, a lot of this for this gen. The only way, even if they are behind, we've talked about how they have had issues getting parts, all this kind of stuff, but they have repeatedly said they will be releasing when it's supposed to release. And I think they are hoping that Microsoft delays so that way they can, but I think they know if they delay, they're fucked because they've been behind.
Like it's gonna be inevitable. I feel like for both companies to delay,
and that's fine.
And if they don't, it's gonna be limited supply, right? So only the first 20% of the people that pre-order their devices are gonna get them.
True, I agree. But I won't. I don't think Sony's gonna officially delay unless Microsoft does.
Xbox will. I don't think
Xbox is going to.
I don't think either will delay because it will be detrimental to marketing and the wholesale of the product, right? Because if Xbox does come out and say delay, Sony's going to be like, no, we're not delaying because this is going to give us our one up.
Yeah.
Right. And then they're going to release with 10% of the quantity.
Yeah.
I mean, because Switch did this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Switch, when they first released that Switch, they overpromised, under-delivered, like with their consoles.
Yeah.
Which created the hype of the Switch, and people, just price gouging in general. And I feel like that's going to be the new wave of consoles.
Yeah. I mean, it might be. Well, we talked about PS5, and I think part of the reason that they're going to be limited is because they are changing up their hardware last minute. We talked about that. I can't remember, D, if you were on the show, but like we joked about last week, I've been doing this 16 weeks now officially. I can't remember who's on what show. I can't remember when I talked about it. I know I've talked about it. But PS5, we did talk about how they were limited in supply because they were having a hard time getting certain things from developers because of COVID. But the way that it read to me, and when we talked about it, was they seem to be making last minute changes to the design. I don't see them having a hard time
in order to get the supply that they can actually get for the time.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, oh man, there's an abundance of these chips. They're like, well, if we just change the design, we could probably make this Gen 1.
Yeah.
And in 6 months to 12 months, our original idea for hardware will be our Gen 2.
Yeah.
And that's to me, that's a terrible idea, because I mean, as consumers of their products, I mean, you're absolutely, those people that care about quality, you're forcing us to upgrade.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's just it. Forced.
Yeah.
It's literally forced.
I mean, it's hard. It's hard when you want to have the best of everything for your community or for yourself, even if you're not streaming or anything like that. Even if you just want the best. Because I've always been one of those, I'm not going to buy it if I know a new gen is coming out in 1 year.
Yeah.
I'd rather wait the 1 year and go without, and then get the better version. And yeah, sure, it'll cost twice as much, but at least I'm not buying it twice.
Yeah.
Because resale value on an item is typically 50% of what you paid.
At best.
So it's like, it's a lose at best. It's a lose.
Yeah.
It's like, so as a consumer, that absolutely, it's devastating to your pocketbook. And
yeah. So we'll see. I mean, like I said, my takeaway from it is, there's this really cool engraving on it. I hope that this becomes more a norm than just putting a sticker on the same piece of hardware. That's my takeaway from this.
I say villain of the week.
Yeah. Yeah. Weird for like the 16th week in a row. We've had 16 podcasts. Normally, we always make this joke. Sony is normally the bad guy company of the week.
They are though. It has nothing to do with fanboy, because I love Sony. Yeah. Like I buy their TVs.
We're about to talk about next a Sony only game, which I will be playing, and there's nothing. It's just they shit the bed a lot. And there's just really
by the balls, but man, they shit the bed.
Yeah,
they really do. But I'm hoping that this, the engraving, I'm hoping that like Xbox and Sony both, and maybe even Switch, like come out with, rather than just a skin, be like, hey, we can take even just this hardware and just be like, all right, let's do a cool engraving or something. Because fuck it, give me the Xbox, Series X or whatever with that, instead of just the Cyberpunk skin. Make it 3D a little bit. You still have the skin, but just give me a little bit of depth to it. Fucking, I would love that, because, that just would be awesome.
My personal opinion is that it differs from there. I say F all that. You can either buy the Xbox, or from Microsoft, you can buy an Xbox PC case, which is one half Xbox case and the other half is put your own PC in it. And then you have the best of both worlds, and then you connect them both internally.
Okay, go watch your YouTube videos for everybody making an all-in-one fucking rig that has all of that.
They do. They do.
I know they do. I know exactly.
What if Microsoft sold that case that had their new Xbox system in it?
Yeah, but okay, the point.
Oh yeah.
The 1% of people that would actually use that, though. Like, I just don't see that. I like the idea. We like that idea.
It doesn't even have to be a streamer. Any YouTube person that takes Xbox and makes that content would use this.
I agree. I think so too.
I mean, so that opens it up.
I feel like the price also, but then I feel the average person, if you have Rumored, we'll just go to use you Rumored as not in a bad way, but a non-technical person. that comes in buys that rig.
It's
Unless
like Disciple.
and yeah, if we compare the two guests, the co-host and the guest right now, the non-technical to the technical, to buy your hypothetical rig or whatever, even just my first thought is like heating and things like that and cooling. For somebody who doesn't know anything about that, if they're putting their PC parts into that, maybe building a rig for the first, maybe second time, because this might appeal to those people, but they're going to be on the mid-range. Say they're like a Rumored who doesn't know techie, but is like, hey, this looks really cool. I could put my actual, PC into this rig along with the Xbox. I'm not sure unless it comes with a hell of a lot of space and a hell of a lot of cooling. I'm
assuming it would come with a lot of cooling, right? Yeah, because have to guarantee whatever you put in there with it for the most part.
Yeah, it would have to literally be.
We could do water cooled too.
Yeah, well, even like water, it would have to come with so much of it. Like I would just say, because like my first thought is the cooling, because majority of people, like an amateur person, would just load up their PC parts in there and go, okay. But then you have an Xbox and a PC running right next to each other, and with just average cooling with one case fan, and that shit's gonna fucking blow up in a heartbeat.
I'm assuming that, so if Microsoft did it, you'd be like, okay, they're gonna sell you this Xbox and case and everything in it except for the PC for $1,000, right? Because you're gonna pay $700 or whatever for the new system, anyways. Hypothetically.
Yeah, I'm just talking. I know Warlock, but I'm just saying hypothetically for like the amateur person, but even still in separate compartments. I feel like as much as that would be cool, there would have to be almost, I feel like, more work on Microsoft's side, because I feel like there would be a lot of kickback when people's rigs fuck up, if that were to happen.
New console is going to be $449 to $499. That's not confirmed.
Yeah,
I know that for sure.
Yeah, I don't see it being that cheap at all.
It won't be.
Yeah, no.
I 100%.
I mean, I'm hoping. Sure.
I would love for it to be that much.
I would love to save that money, but I don't think that's going to happen.
No.
I already paid $500 for the one I have here, the Xbox One Elite or whatever.
Yeah, that doesn't do half as much.
No.
But
this next one, I mean,
Phil's not even the guy anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, of course they're going to be aggressive with it, though.
I mean, they said that they're going to be aggressive with the pricing, but if you look at so we've talked about this before, Moose. And I don't want to wholly get into it, but we talked about with the pricing when we were speculating it. Every generation has gone up, in pricing wise, with release wise. This generation, but this generation released at 500. Like even if we're just talking not hardware, not anything like that, every generation has gone up in price with the release because of like hardware, things like that. So even if we're just talking and just looking at the past and how generations have gone up in price, this is going to be more. We've talked that I could see it being $700 for like a premier, fucking kit that comes with because we've talked about how you can have the plug-in NVMe, which is fucking awesome. There are different things that could give you like the elite version and all that we don't have like pricing for that could come with all that. I mean, I see $599 is going to be like the bare bones. That's what I see. Yeah. So like you say, 500.
I mean, Phil Spencer definitely makes a comment recently, April 7th, about the price. He says they have a winning plan and that he believes it's going to be a good offering for the overall package. So I mean, but he doesn't.
Yeah, I think they're going to be aggressive, but it's not going to be the same price. I mean, we just talked about the PS4 Pro bundle, which is still $400. There's no way the new generation is going to be $500. There's no fucking way, as much as I want it to be. And if I'm wrong, by all means, everybody clip this.
Xbox One and Xbox One X originally launched at a price of $500 US.
Yeah.
At the price point.
Yeah, exactly.
From the news article that Phil Spencer quotes.
They both launched at $500. There's no way the new ones, as much as I love it, be. And by all means, guys, I hope I'm wrong, but I am 99.9% sure that I am right. There's no way it launches at 500. There's absolutely no way.
With it. There's no way.
Yeah.
I'm thinking the lowest entry level, $599.
Yeah, the lowest entry level bare bones is gonna be $599.
It's gonna step up from there. And just like the last gens, they don't come with the game.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
They come with a single controller with no rechargeable battery.
Yeah. Exactly.
No game.
But we've
Money
talked about
well spent.
pricing. Yeah, we've talked about pricing and all that before. I think it's like episode 11. So Moose, if you want to go check that out on the YouTube, by all means, because we've gotten into this
Yeah, there's a
before.
lot.
Yeah, we've talked about it before in depth, by all means. Moving right along, next topic, going back to it. Why did that not switch? Do the thing. There we go. All right, why is my stream deck not working? So Ghost of Tsushima.
Do it, Moose.
Just speaking of Sony, obviously bad guy company of the week as it is normally, but just like I said, I'm not saying any of that stuff as a Microsoft fanboy or as somebody on the Mixer platform. I love Sony. I love Sony exclusives. All that Last of Us I'm excited for, even though that fucking bundle is stupid and outrageous for the price. But I'm really fucking excited for this game. If you have not seen it, I've talked about it a couple times. Last Thursday, they did have the 18-minute kind of state of play footage. I do have the link up there, actually in the Discord, in the kind of, there's the if we didn't answer a question section. And right beneath that is the actual link section for any links that I talk about week to week of more in-depth. I have a couple minutes queued up here on my notes that I kind of want to talk about, and we'll kind of go into that. But they did have their state of play thing. This does come out in... Wait, fuck, I don't have that written down. But if I remember correctly, July... Like mid-July. I don't remember the date for it. Mid-July, if I remember correctly. We talked about it last week. But I'm really excited about this game. So the 18 minutes, the full video is up there linked. The first thing that we want to talk about, I'm just going to kind of go through the whole thing of the video, and I want to make sure where I'm reading down to. So we'll just do this. Cue up a couple things. This is just them talking about kind of the exploration a little bit.
Exploration has been at the heart of our open world design.
And they're
since
talking.
the very
Whatever.
beginning.
I'm gonna lower it down a little bit because he's talking also. But so the exploration side of it, the visuals of this is what they're kind of like talking about here. I'm just gonna mute it while I talk. To me, I see this as we kind of get to the little bit of walking here that he's about to do in a second, it very much reminds me of how Red Dead came out. Because it's supposed to be an arcade action game, but it's very much Red Dead. I haven't played Assassin's Creed Odyssey, so I don't know how that is. There's a couple things that I've seen with like Assassin's Creed wise, so I don't know about Odyssey. Don't hate me on that or the recommendations there, so I cannot make allusions there. But I get a huge Red Dead feel.
Somebody gets on the horse.
To the navigation, where it's not here's a nav beacon, go here. Like it seems open world enough. In the arcade action wise, you can call your horse like in Witcher and get on it. The gusting winds, you guys just saw that there were some winds right there. They talk about that. Instead of nav beacons, all you can kind of say, hey, I want to go there. You can call forth like your little like samurai power or whatever. What it is, the guiding wind. So you activate that and the winds will actually blow in the direction that you want to go. Or are supposed to go. So it's kind of, giving, but it's kind of like cool. And that's what, like, we'll go back to that. That was what he activated up here when he was doing it. So the kind of gust that blows. So once he marks it, the kind of like gust blows in that direction. And it's the one like off in the hill. But it's very, like, to me, it's a Red Dead feel. You have the smoke off in the distance. You have a very theatrical... open world feel to it. So that like gust right there, that's what it was, the guiding wind, right, as they talked about as it comes out of this scene. So he activated that and it's like, hey, this is the direction that you need to go. Leaves blow in that direction, the whole kind of feel to it. I got a very Red Dead vibe about it. Like I said, I'm excited about this game. Like I said, we're not going to watch the whole 18-minute video. I just want to point out the couple ones. Combat wise,
That looks really good.
the combat looks really good. There's a lot of exploration and all that. Combat, I was getting personally, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong as you're seeing it, I was getting more of, depending on, so there's two different ways that you can play it. And I'm not quite sure if you pick them or you just kind of decide as your character. So you can play as the samurai or the ghost. And I think as you develop your character, maybe like night and day and all that, you can play as one as well as the other. One's a more kind of like sneaky character. One's a more straight up old school samurai. So we're going to start off with the samurai one. Very much all the combat is very methodical, almost like to me Arkham Asylum or Arkham games, Batman Arkham, like that genre of combat where you have a couple counters but you're not spamming buttons. It's more methodical type of combat. So I'll actually unmute here.
Basically, there's a typical strategy
sizing each other up,
the type
waiting
of
for the other to make the first move.
So I love that if you were playing the samurai, I think this is cool. It builds off the thematic thing. So, and this is like, as you're on your samurai character, you can actually challenge somebody. You walk up and you're just like, hey, let's fucking go. And then from there, the fight builds. But you start a one-on-one type of thing.
Damn.
And he just, more methodical. You have to hit the buttons at the right time. And then, like, there are other things. But, like, for the first entryway, you could walk up as a samurai and be like, hey, let's fucking go. And like duel them.
As you can see, the Mongols are everywhere on this
I
map.
just wonder if it's gonna have like a Fable feel to it. You know what I mean?
To use
because towards the end of the video, I don't want to give any spoilers, but how they talk about
no wasted energy.
Yeah, so I
wonder if it's the choices you make that's gonna decide whether you're
and that's the thing. So the state of the game didn't really say, like, obviously there's two different characters. So we'll look at the fighting and the difference. So that was like the samurai, the fighting difference in the ghost, which it could also be night and day type of thing, because this is also taking place at night. So maybe during the day you're samurai, and maybe at night you're playing the ghost, because that's how they're calling it. If you're your ghost character, I'm not quite sure. It doesn't really say. But this, so like you're playing as a ghost, total different feel. This is what more gave me, especially the Batman like Arkham Asylum thing, because you're doing like gadgets, you're kind of like holding up, and what are you doing?
I'm trying to click the play button.
I was talking. I was prefacing it a little bit.
I know. I was just. I am seeing if it worked. Okay.
Every dirty trick you can think of.
Because I know they talk also, so I don't want to like talk and talk and talk.
Using fear as a
weapon. But this is more like where I got like the Arkham Asylum, especially because there's like the abilities, like if you're playing the old Batman games where you throw an ability and then you do the kind of sneaky side of it to combat, where it's like you're not straight up doing combat.
Ooh, yeah, fascinating. I am. I like it. That reminded me of Assassin's Creed for sure.
Yeah, and that's to say, like, I don't know about the newer Assassin's Creed, but yeah, the same kind of, but this, like, I got more the battle of Arkham. We did talk about Valhalla last 2 weeks.
Okay. Dude, that game looks so amazing.
It does. But I mean, like, here you kind of see, like, and I'm not sure what this Behind Disciple is, how it plays in. Oh, well, it doesn't show it right now. I do that and it goes away. But there's little orbs down here that... Okay, so I think they have to do with, like, maybe your dodging, your abilities. I'm not sure, but they build up. And, like, so in certain things, like, they were starting to build up in, like, the other video. They built up during his combat. So I think it has to do maybe with certain abilities and maybe having...
take these points. Right. So they take these type of orbs.
Yeah, like certain abilities take the amount of orbs.
Maybe how many you can get by without like alarming.
Yeah, like so I'm curious how those play in. But like this, so he's using a smoke bomb and then he's able to actually do the abilities. Like I said, this reminded me more of the Batman games. Obviously, yeah, Assassin's Creed too, but I like the Batman games more, so I played them more. So that's what it reminded me of, but I know Assassin's Creed also has the kunai. They're talking about how when the Mongols start to fear you, they'll actually like do that, like start running away.
Engage.
Yeah, and then then he goes and
Ghost at Night. That's awesome.
Yeah,
this game definitely looks.
Dude, I've been excited on it for a minute.
Yeah.
Now, and
honestly, this is the first I've really seen about it.
Yeah.
So this is actually coming from Sucker Punch.
Yep.
Which I actually so a little feedback on me. I actually started on PlayStation, and a game of Sucker Punch was Sly Cooper. And I don't know if you guys have heard of that, but that was an absolute favorite game of mine. And to see kind of where they've come from, and that was back on PlayStation 2. So to see where Sucker Punches came from Sly to this game, like it makes me want to play it, kind of like reminiscing, because I'm Xbox.
I don't know Cooper. Like I know they also did like chat was saying they did the Infamous games. That's what I know them from more so.
See, and I know them from Infamous too, and I like the Infamous games a lot. Like that was another reason why I had the PS3.
Yeah, the PS2 I think might have had the first one. I can't remember when the first one came out.
My mind. What is the Sucker Punch game with the purple dragon? What is that game?
Oh, Spyro.
Spyro? Is Spyro Sucker Punch? I didn't know Spyro was Sucker Punch.
Yeah.
I didn't know Spyro was Sucker Punch either. That's cool.
Sly Cooper, it was the shit. Like, I played that. I bought the PS4 just for the final Sly Cooper, and I have not used it since.
Wow.
So
I mean, mine says there too. So
yeah, my kids use it for Netflix.
Hey, why not? So I actually don't have so it's right here before we get to the next thing. But like she was talking about, I didn't have it in my notes. So and one of the things I do have, I didn't have the number for it, but it does have almost like I don't know if it's quite an RPG element, but the more like action game type of thing. There are like it says that there is gear as well as your armor and things like that, where there are these little charms that can affect both a passive stats type of thing. So, and then also it says in the video that your gear does affect your character as well. It doesn't show it, but it does. The over talking about it, he does say your gear affects how your character plays. So that eludes me, and there is this gear tab here that alludes me to feel like not only is your gear cosmetic, it does have some type of stats. It doesn't show that in the video, but it does make me feel that way. The next thing I want to mention besides all of that was one of the things they have and that they really focused on is actually the photo mode.
We have a bunch of new features that really underline
look
the motion
fucking awesome, which I don't use photo mode that way, but for those of you guys that
there's been a lot of games like Spider-Man had photo mode, right?
Yeah, and that make it
unless it made me.
Yeah. But I mean, some people do it, and
select a track of music from our original score.
Some people love it, and you have like these certain overlays and things like that.
But or maybe you actually want to do a video,
music videos in World of Warcraft. I mean, it's like some people do things, and you know, it's like for me that's
it doesn't do it for me. But the cool thing for me from this photo mode that I took from this state of play thing, and some people like it, is the fact that you can make not only just photos but videos. That you can do these, and I'll play it here in a second. But you could do these titles, but also even the videos. You could have that and have the video where your character is standing still, but it kind of does like an overlay of like you'll see how like these leaves like move, all that kind of stuff. Like that's all factors of the video photo mode. Like, and you could add all that into the photo mode. Like your character, all that
environment that your character can be modeled in.
Correct.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of cool. Standalone, if you are into doing those photos, which some people are, and they look awesome. It's not, I don't do it, but it's cool that it makes like a 3D rendering of your character. Just you pause it and you're like, cool, I want to make this standoff against this guy look fucking awesome, and I want to have, you know, the leaves blowing in the wind. Yeah, Samurai Jack RPG. Like, yeah, that whole that vibe.
Definitely make a narrative of your own and storyline. You know, given these tools that they put inside here, and that's really cool.
The last thing that I take standalone from this is, and something I've seen a couple times in the news since it came out, is they're called like the Samurai Cinema, which is literally you can play the whole game from start to finish in black and white with like the film grain and everything. I kind of want to do that. I'm not gonna lie, I might play this game from start to finish in this black and white film grain.
Honestly, I feel like that's a thing. I
think that's what I'm gonna do, because like it's this old school, like the film grain from, they said even from the video, from the beginning. They literally say from the beginning in this premiere thing, they say from the beginning you can play this game in Samurai Cinema. You know, and
dude, that's legit, man. I mean, that's getting me excited.
Old school monochromatic, the slight film grain, like, and also all
we need is some subtitles.
So that's what I was hoping you would say that. Fun story. That's the other half of me talking about this. The other thing you could load up from the beginning, and I think they talked about before that. Where is it at? I thought it was right. Was it at the end? I don't have the marker for it. Oh, 16.
If they do dubbed over voices.
No, they do. They literally do. Oh my God. They have from the beginning, you can play it with subtitles, with Japanese voices, with dubs, with subs. And that's how I'm going to be playing it.
The last thing I can say is give me like a bundle where I can buy Bruce Lee, where he goes like every few minutes, man. I'm down.
I thought they talked about it there. It might have been before that.
Bruce Lee movie
It's kind
inside this game.
at the end. I'm
I
pretty
thought it
sure.
was too. Maybe it must have been before the samurai film grain, though. It had to have been.
Let me allow me to shave my head and put, you know.
I think it's after the samurai.
It's
because
probably
they
in it, bro.
upload a video to the subs.
Yeah, I thought. Yeah, but either way,
Dude,
so
he's-
you can have the game. It is it is with you can have. Yeah, no, that's the last thing that they talk about it. It's weird. Film grain.
This is super.
No, I'm fucking. I'm excited.
Right
Oh yeah,
here.
no, I say
right
yeah,
there.
it's right over. Yeah, it was before the film grade, but yeah, so it's from the beginning.
Yep.
Also, a full voice Japanese voice track where you can play it with subtitles, and that's how I'm gonna be playing it. I'm gonna be playing it because I watch my anime either way. I almost like half
Right.
understand this shit. You know, I'm used to subtitles. You know.
Yep.
Before the first
Yeah, you hear the common words. It's like, oh, I know that word.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm getting, you know, it's like I've watched enough anime where I'm like, oh,
Yeah, dude,
even if
it's
I'm looking at my
crazy.
phone, it's like, oh shit, something just happened. Like
That's
fuck,
all
it's like
talking
oh,
about
oh.
their father again. It's,
Yep,
it's gonna go
fucking-
down.
Yep, yeah.
Talk about my father.
Yep. So like you have.
Now there's actually a couple like I cannot bring myself to watch it like anime series, you know. I can't bring myself to watch it until they come out with the English version, except like Attack on Titan. I don't know if you guys have seen that or not, but
Yes.
I could watch that in Japanese all freaking day.
I watch.
You know,
I'm used to watching majority. I don't have the elitist thing where subs are better than dubs, whatever. I don't care. Like, cause
Oh,
I like I like Dragon Ball in dubbed because that's also how I grew up, and also listening to Goku in his Japanese voice is just really weird for me.
Yeah, so high, he's so
Yeah,
high
that just
pitched,
drives me.
Japanese
But you
version.
know, it drives me nuts. But a majority of my animes I do watch subtitled, just because a lot of animes that I watch are on like Crunchyroll and all that, and they don't have a dubbed version. So I'm very used to watching them like that. But I don't. However you like watching them, I don't care. Yeah. But yeah, no, I'm super excited for this. I think, you know, like I said, the samurai cinema, I'm definitely going to be playing that. Maybe not the whole time black and white, but definitely for a solid minute in black and white. Oh yeah,
Dude,
Disciple's
like,
a huge
these
Dragon
are
Ball
just
Z.
the ones in Reach. I mean, I'm
He's
such
a
Dragon Ball
huge
nerd.
I
Dragon
like
Ball.
Dragon Ball, and I like I'm one of like the younger cousins, and my older cousins were obsessed with it. So like I was introduced to Dragon Ball like at an age where like, I didn't get it. And now I'm
Probably
like,
Dragon Ball Z. You probably started it.
it was
probably
Dragon Ball Z, 100%. And now I'm a little out of the loop, but like right when like, oh, what is Goku?
Well, Dragon Ball was done before you were probably even born. Like,
Dragon Ball
Like,
finished, I think, in early 90s, didn't it? Dragon Ball?
So I was
Yeah,
born in 95. I think
Dragon Ball.
Z.
Right, so I
Dragon
think
Ball was early 90s. Dragon Ball was
originally
done.
Released like in 90.
Yeah.
Like it was done. Like the entire series
Yeah.
was done.
Yeah.
So when does
Right.
like 16 and 17 and
Yeah, so that was Dragon Ball Z. So that was
Dragon
the
Ball Z.
Cell Saga.
Yeah.
yeah, that's where I came in like I cannot think of his name.
Oh, the
my
good
God,
old
I'm gonna
days
be
of
a nerd.
Toonami.
The Majin
Majin Buu.
Majin Buu.
Majin Buu.
Yeah,
Thank
Majin
you.
Buu.
Yeah. Oh, it's close. So
Yeah.
yeah, so like it's weird. Like I didn't quite understand Dragon Ball, but now that I'm older, I'm like, oh my God,
There
I
was
really want
Kid
to get back into
Buu,
that.
Evil Boo.
Yeah. I honestly have not watched like any of Super. I've watched a little bit of it,
Super's
but
amazing because
Dragon
it's a
Ball
battle royale, bro.
Yeah.
It's a battle royale.
I've seen a little bit of Super, and the way that they're kind of
Amazing.
playing everything out is really amazing. It
Yeah.
really is.
It's
I'll
amazing.
catch up on it. I will catch up on it at some point. But I'm like, I'm so at this point, like, Dragon Ball definitely is one of those that got me into it. It was like Dragon Ball, Gundam, and like the old school Toonami
Yeah,
definitely
Gundam.
got into it. But I definitely went down the rabbit hole after that and have gotten into like over the years, like gotten into weird random anime. And like Disciple knows because he'll be like, yeah. I'll mention like some anime and he'll be like, yeah, I know, like because I just watch anime at this point. Like that is my like go-to thing, and I'll watch like, hey, you know, this random fucking anime out here on Crunchyroll. Like last night, and I'll bitch about them too. Like, you know, last night I was watching what was it? Trapped in Another World with my smartphone. is the title of it.
Never
Yeah,
heard of
it's
that
just
in my
this
life.
random fucking thing. One season that I was able to find. It's this
Right.
guy who, and it's a very stereotypical harem style anime where he has a bunch of girls over. He's overpowered, whatever, which isn't my normal go to, but it took me a couple hours to watch at 20 minutes a piece, you know, whatever. So I was like, I'll try this one, whatever. And, you know, and I just watched that, and it's like the main character, he got killed accidentally by God, and God's like, all right, well, it was my fault, my bad. Let me throw you over into this world. It has magic and shit. Do you want to take anything with you? And he's like, yeah, let me take my smartphone that I can use all the time. So he literally, like, he uses, like, Google Maps to fucking, like, pinpoint things around him and fucking use it for attacks and shit. Like, it's like it's just so, like,
That
what the
sounds so
fuck is going on? But it actually wasn't terrible. The only bad thing is that
funny, though.
the only bad thing was like the stereotypical like harem. I hate that when it's like, oh, the one main character who's like 15 has like 7 girls that are obsessed with him and all that. I'm like, we all know as a male, once was a 15-year-old male, that shit doesn't happen. All right, like let's just, you know.
So,
Hey, that time I was reincarnated as a slime is a great fucking anime. So
I haven't
Never seen that either.
But my all-time favorite, no matter what they come out with, even so far in 2020, my favorite anime is Inuyasha.
it's true.
Like that is still.
I liked Inuyasha growing up.
Really?
I really liked Inuyasha. I was never a huge fan of Bleach. I didn't hate it. But Bleach was
It's not 'cause
okay.
You're a furry. Like deep down, you're a furry because Inuyasha is a great.
I mean, it
great
kind of does
show,
have a
but
furry vibe to it. I feel like a
it's
lot of people who
definitely,
liked
I feel like most
Inuyasha
people
liked
that are
being
into it, like you're really into being a furry. Like I've made that correlation.
I don't know if one actually. I feel like correlation or causation. I don't know if one necessarily denotes the other, but I feel like there is a slight correlation. Maybe not a causation or whichever it is. One does not denote the other. But I feel like if you are at a furry convention, you watched anime, you probably did enjoy Inuyasha.
It's your favorite freaking anime.
Okay, there are so many reasons.
No, I liked
like,
Inuyasha growing up too.
But what you're saying is you're a fox. I get it.
Hey,
I get it.
Hey, she is a fox. I'm sorry, she is foxy.
I said fox.
Yeah, she a fox.
Wow.
No, I agree. The titles of turn is. I was just talking in another stream last night about one that I was recommending. I was telling a friend about the defense one. It's like the whole title is literally like it's like Buri something, whatever is the Japanese name, and it's literally in English it's I don't like getting hurt, so I built defense or whatever the fuck it is. Like, hold on, let me pull up the actual title for it.
You do that.
I don't like getting hurt, so like there's a couple different like. So I don't want to get hurt, so I'll max out my defense. That's literally the title of the fucking anime. I mean, it's actually kind of cool. It's like an SAO style, yeah,
cool
before,
it
yeah.
definitely reminds me of an RP, like in a mobile
No, that's what it
RPG
is.
or
It's
something
kind of like the
that.
SAO style. Yeah, she's in a game, so that's why she literally builds a tank character. Like she's never played a game before, so she builds a tank and doesn't put anything in agility, nothing. She moves so slow at the beginning, and she just maxes out defense and can't get hurt, and then it like builds from there.
That's funny.
Yeah, it is a yeah. So maxed out my defense. Yeah, exactly.
How did you like One Punch Man?
One Punch Man, I think One Punch Man is great for what it is. People read too much into it and like this and that. I think because the main characters of One Punch Man are the side characters, which is the funny part. You know, people don't realize, like, you know, the main draw is like him. He could defeat anything, but it's like he's amusing. But the story comes from the side characters. I really like One Punch Man.
I really do too. I think that it's very comical in its own way, and I do agree that a lot of people when they review it, they read way too much into it.
Yeah, it's
like,
a satirical.
just take it at face value.
Yeah, it's supposed to be satire. It's a satirical anime.
Absolutely, and like just so many people like take some anime so serious, and I feel like that's one that some people do.
Yeah,
and I absolutely think it's hilarious.
Oh, okay. Well, I just went to try and insert my 2-factor thing that it sent me from before, and of course it's expired by this point. God damn it! While we were sitting here talking and waiting, let me reopen up Epic.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did you?
Let me redo
your free GTA. Game?
Yeah, I was gonna try and do that right there, but hold on.
Go back into it.
Yep.
I'm not muted, right?
Nope, you're not muted.
You hear me? Okay. Obviously, I'm not good at that.
It's okay. We forgive you. But yeah, no, I'm really excited for Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah, dude.
I think it looks awesome.
I feel like we're gonna be playing at the same time.
It's okay. Probably. It's probably going to be a thing. That's the only bad thing about playing single player games as like streamers, especially with friends and all, because it's like, oh, you got this far. And it's like, oh, I can't watch you because I'm playing it right now.
I have to do audio only because you just passed where I was.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Like,
it's like, oh, fuck.
I love you, but I'm not going to ruin my game.
Yeah, exactly. And I get it 110%. And then you have people, from one community going over the other. It's like, oh, let's host this guy. But you want to host somebody who's behind you. So that way the community, the community is sort of watching.
They're like, I saw Kdog do this last night. He stayed up for 24 hours and he finished.
And let's be honest, I'm probably going to. If I'm off of work, I'm probably going to be like, this game's fucking awesome.
So people that do watch him are also going to watch me. And they're like, oh, Kdog did it better. I'm like, oh my God.
Do it better now. Do it better.
Yeah, do it better. Gosh.
Kdog completed this in 0.2 seconds. Like,
I know. He dodged that. He didn't get hit by that.
Yeah, I would say like that boss fight only took him one try.
I'm like,
get knocked once.
All right, I hit that. All right, moving right along though. Ghost of Tsushima out next month. Hold on, let me give the actual date again. I know we talked about it last week, and I don't have it written down anymore. Ghost of Tsushima release date is July 17th.
Yeah.
So I still think of that as like next month, because to me it's already June in my head.
Pretty much.
So, but July. July 17th is where it's slated right now. So definitely looking forward to that. Moving right along to the next thing. And now we're on to the game side of things. Obviously, you guys couldn't tell. We talk about news, then we talk about games. Crucible came out today, which, if you guys have not heard, we've talked about it in the stream before. So shame on you if you haven't heard, because you haven't been here. Amazon's gosh, rumored. Amazon's new game. This is their first. If you want to get a little bit more of a rundown of the game itself, we talked about it 3 weeks ago on the episode with Silent on the YouTube. We did watch the whole intro video. We talked about it a little bit more in depth, but it did launch today. Just a brief recap of it from Amazon, their first main game outside of like mobile and things like that from their development company. Launches with 3 game modes. We talked about it, how it feels like it doesn't quite know what type of game it is, but the main mode is the Heart of the Hives. That seems to be the main focus of it. It's a PvE VP game, free to play, does have a battle pass for cosmetics. The main mode is this Heart of the Hive mode. Huh? What? Say that again?
I said I'm probably gonna buy it
because you buy every battle pass.
Battle pass in the fucking world.
Yeah, but
such a sucker.
The Heart of the Hives, and that's why they have them for people like Disciple right there. That's why there are battle passes. Well, the main mode is the Heart of the Hives. That seems to be the main focus of the game. Does have a BR and all that as well. It's like 2v2v2v. You know, like I think 10 people in 2v2s. But the main mode is this Heart of the Hive. I'm gonna load up the video and I'm gonna take my 2 minutes while we do that. To grab another drink as well, but we'll load up this is the Heart of the Hive, how the game mode overview is for that, and we'll talk about that a little bit as we're going forward. Woo, woo. I'm gonna do that, and then
Hi guys.
Heart of the Hives is a 4-on-4 race to capture the hearts left behind by monstrous hive creatures. Hives are big, nasty things. You'll find them springing up out of the ground on Crucible. Comes special with their own little wasp thing. Ugh. My advice, don't let them touch you. Each hive has what you'd call a heart, and those hearts, they are highly valuable. So your job is to get down to the surface, keep an eye out for hives, take them down, and capture the heart they leave behind. Get 3 of them and you win. You'll even have 3 teammates to help.
All the different characters.
Easy, right? Of course, there are other hunters down there looking to get them too. You'll want to think on your feet. React to changing conditions. Use your knowledge of the planet's terrain to your advantage. It'll take coordination and teamwork to secure your victory. Heart of the Hives is a game of tactics.
Looks like a Bangalore.
Swarm a hive, build up your power. Ambush your foes, or take them on head-to-head. You need a plan. Whatever tactic you decide to try, remember, get 3 hearts before the other team. Get out there, you heartbreakers.
Hey!
Kitty back.
I know, she ran away. She was in my chair. As soon as I came back, she was sitting in my chair. That's why I picked her up. She's like, nope, my chair now. So yeah, that's the 4v4 mode. Is that, which is kind of the more, I think, where they're kind of focused, which is the blend between MOBA and like FPS, like kind of, you know, Overwatch with the more MOBA elements, has PvE a little bit more. You know, the one if we do play that later, or Apex, but that's the one that we'll be playing. And it seems to be the more focus of the game as it comes out. We'll see. For those of you guys that are hanging out later, we'll see if it's any good or not. It did release today. It's free to play, download on Steam. Check it out for yourself. If you thought that it looked cool, I'm reserving judgment until we play it. So,
It does look good though.
Yeah, it looks
really does.
interesting.
It looks cool.
So
Yeah.
there were some other people I did see on Mixer already playing it earlier today. A couple people that I follow and all that were playing it. So yeah, we'll see. I'm hoping. I'm kind of hoping that it works or does well, even if it's kind of I'm hoping that it does well enough as a free game or gives Amazon a good thing, because Amazon is a big enough company that I would like to see them expand outside of just the mobile market. And they're also supposed to, we talked about before, the next game after this, they're pouring all their marketing into this, but they are supposed to be having an MMO that comes out in the fall. That's their next game from their, you know, this is their first game from their in-house developer. They're supposed to be having an MMO that comes out as well, which now that this is out, they're going to kind of switch focus marketing-wise and all that to that. So we'll see. I think...
Coming from someone that has never played a PV... How did they put that?
PvE, VP, you know.
PvEP, right? Like the environment against other players. You know that I've never played a game like that, so I'm very interested to see how I can do it if I'm any good at it, but how that actually works in a game. Yeah,
it's a MOBA elements with, you know, the Overwatch style and third person. The most recent game that did this or similar to this was Paragon, and that kind of flopped. So hopefully this kind of works. And like I said, if for no other reason, I'd like to see another developer. Amazon definitely has the money, so I would like to see this do well. Just so that way we have another big name developer with a lot of money in the, you know, the greater game developing environment that could, after a couple games do okay, they could bring on some bigger names. We talked about this when we last talked about it. If this game and the next game do at least decent, then they can start hiring some people and really, you know, rather than these games probably were made with, you know, not big names. They, you know, people that were fresher to the industry with new ideas. You know, they can really start making some, you know, have some argument to put some money into the brand. You know, so that's what I'm hoping that this does well enough. This and the MMO later on, which I can't even remember what it's called. We talked about it before. Yeah. But yeah, so they have that MMO in the fall as well, which there's really no information about. That's why I can't even remember the name. They have not released really any information about it. I just know that it's coming.
Was final. I think it was like a placeholder title.
A working title.
I
okay.
think.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a working title.
Yeah. So, but
go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was just gonna kind of wrap it up.
So the one thing I will say, the one thing that worries me, you know, with all the tying in of, so this is an Amazon company. So what if they say, hey, you can only stream this on Twitch?
True.
Right. What if they say, what if this becomes you know, one of the top 5 titles, and, you know, all drops go through Twitch? This is going to be the one downside to us being on Mixer, right? Is you know, having a development company that has such strong ties with the owner of Twitch. I mean, that's complete conflict, and I mean, eventually could become a monopoly.
That's true. That is true.
Right.
And even with the RPG and all that kind of stuff, that could be something that we see in the future. I mean, it's not an instance right now, but there hasn't been anything like this right now. So
there hasn't been. So I mean, that's like if Microsoft had Mixer and they, you know, and then all the future Halo titles cannot be streamed on Twitch. Yeah. And, you know, there's that exclusivity of, you know, oh, you can only get these drops if that becomes a top 10 game for a significant time. which is anything over than a year. Like if you can hold a title in the top 10 for a year, you've made it.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, can they do that?
And I understand their ties, but do you really think that they would limit themselves?
Absolutely. With Twitch being the number one content provider for streaming, absolutely they would.
I don't think Microsoft would do that, but Twitch.
I don't think Microsoft would. But
Microsoft doesn't have enough play to do that with Halo.
Is in the position he's in for a reason. That's because he is smart and he's tactical, and he's not afraid to push the envelope or buttons of other people.
Yeah.
He's like, I got money, I got this, I can go somewhere else, and that's true when you're the leader of an industry. But when you're not,
Microsoft wouldn't. I don't see Microsoft being able to hold Halo, but theoretically, just in the theoretical aspect, I do see Twitch being. I'm not saying that would happen, but theoretically, Twitch could say that and get away with it, whereas Microsoft probably couldn't say, hey, we're only going to let you stream.
Microsoft would be like, dude, I'm not gonna say that, like these 4 million people streaming and with the people watching their content are not going to be able to watch our content because they're not watching on Mixer.
Yeah,
that's a bad decision. Yeah. Because I mean, people just won't buy the game if they can't see it. Because a lot of consumers are like that now. They want to see the game before they buy it. And if that's the case, if you can only see it on Mixer and they don't know what Mixer is, you're losing out on a lot of money. So I mean, I agree with Kay where I feel like Microsoft wouldn't do that because they're the bottom dogs with Mixer.
I agree, Disciple.
But that was like when we when we first talked about this Amazon company, I was very optimistic. But now thinking of like the platform wars, it's like I wonder how it's going to play.
Yeah,
that's the only thought I had when we were talking about this. So
yeah,
like earlier when we were discussing, I mean, all these, like, there's a couple things that I didn't know, you know, that I got to learn through you guys, but I'm just realizing like a Mixer needs to get a little bit more aggressive. I mean, we're losing out on tons of opportunities, I think.
Oh yeah, we've talked plenty of times.
Like, I love the platform, but
yeah,
we got to be aggressive.
We could, like I said, we could do a whole web show on ways that things need to get their shit together. So we've
right.
True.
And it's not just Mixer. There's a lot of other platforms. I mean, like DLive is still a thing. It's not even a percentage.
Yeah.
But
right.
They could be, right? They had a great opportunity with PewDiePie doing his streams over there, and they absolutely crashed. And
PewDiePie arguably, bigger than anybody else in the industry.
Who's bigger than
anybody?
Bigger than PewDiePie except for Ninja?
Yeah, nobody. Yeah, like, and even probably bigger than Ninja. Like numbers wise.
I mean, maybe.
I don't know. At one point, I'm just saying, like, I don't know number wise, but I would say, like, arguably for all time numbers wise, who was ever at the highest peak. Yeah. I would say, I'd say that might be a close.
Definitely up there. He influences like. Minecraft would probably be dead if it weren't for him. Yeah,
exactly. It's like he's whoever turned it. I always term it. I reference PewDiePie economics, and that's I always joke about it. Somebody else termed it. It's a thing. Big influencer starts playing a game again.
10 million plus influence.
Yeah.
You can make or break a game.
Yeah.
I mean,
exactly.
That's just what reality is. The Kardashians can make or break a label.
Yep.
Like a fashion brand.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, and that's crazy, right? They're just people.
Yep.
But they have an influence that spreads, and it's crazy.
Yeah. So that's DLive had that opportunity. Same with Mixer has opportunities and all that. So it's like we could fill up a whole special broadcast web show of things that will get us in trouble, saying that things that could be better. Yeah. Yeah. One-off special. Yeah. Stay tuned for a YouTube episode about how all these things could work better. No, but that's all brands. Pretty much the only one and even Twitch has it. So we've talked about how Twitch has its fallbacks on things. Every platform has its shortcomings. Absolutely. But we, of course, all are personally invested in Mixer because we're here. Yeah, but Crucible, obviously, we're talking about how it could be, Twitch could end up having an issue with that. But as of right now, it's not an issue. Yeah. So if you do want to, we're just hypothetically talking things that could happen down the road as, just to, not to fill up time, but just that's what we do. We sit here and we talk shit. But yeah, definitely. Yeah, exactly. It's my talk show. It's my web show. It's my podcast. It's whatever you want to fucking call it. We sit here and we talk shit.
Right.
And that's why when I go off on 20-minute rants and somebody's like, you're ranting, I'm like, God damn it, it's my goddamn web show. I can do what I please.
Right.
Do what I
He
want.
can and he will.
And I will, and I have.
College, and don't you
And
forget.
it's done.
And I've done it before, and I will do it again. God damn it.
I
But
don't give a shit.
yep. Joys of it being my channel. But Crucible, of course, it is on Steam. If you are inclined to download, check it out. We'll probably be checking it out later tonight after the show. Other games that are coming out this week or in the very near future, we'll talk about a couple of those in the near future coming up. But also this week did launch, and I really wish it was on PC for free, but Golf with Friends. I wanted to highlight Golf with Friends. Is out on all consoles now. PC, PS4, Xbox, I think Switch too. I'm pretty sure I saw Switch on there. I have in my notes all consoles, so I feel like I would have written not Switch if not Switch was not listed. It is available. Official release across all platforms. Golf with Friends, if you have not played it, is a lot of fun. It's great content. You kind of think like Gang Beasts, it's good for just with your community type of things. It is free on Game Pass for console. I'm very upset it's not free on Game Pass for PC. Very annoyed that
went to the wrong side.
I'm on the perfect side, all right? All right, I am on the side where I need to be. That's the only thing that's disappointing. I don't see why it would be on one and not the other, especially with the way that Microsoft's moving. It's just kind of weird to me that if it's on Game Pass for one and not the other, especially since there is a PC version. It just seems more weird to me than anything else.
What if it was a different publisher, though, right? So, I mean, during ports, sometimes they go through different publishers.
Could be.
Right? I mean, and that's like the one thing I can think of where I like the one stipulation where it should,
or maybe like Steam, they have a contract with Steam when it initially came out, maybe as the one vendor for it, so maybe they can't release it on the Windows platform yet,
right?
Or on the Game Pass, so maybe that's why, because you do have to get it. You can't get it on Xbox, but you do have to get it on Steam still. It is $20. It's a lot of fun, but it's still on the Steam platform. So maybe that's the thing. Maybe they are contracted into Steam.
I bet they did, but before, like, it probably was bought or whatever and came over to the Microsoft side, or they made that networking agreement for like the Xbox side. It was probably previous to the Steam agreement. Yeah, because everyone goes for that Steam agreement first, because you know what, Steam is the #1 publisher for indie games. Period. Yeah. There is no other.
Yeah, it really. So, we talked about Epic earlier, but really, like Steam, there's no comparison. Epic is getting up there, but really, there's no comparison for Steam as a platform.
They are. But they're doing it in shady ways, right? They're cutting, anyways.
Yeah, we've talked about it multiple times. We're not going to get into it. But yeah, Golf with Friends out, $20. If you have Xbox, it is on the Game Pass. I will probably download it on my Xbox. Maybe like load it up. It is kind of amusing. If you have the Game Pass, definitely download it. It is a lot of fun just to fuck around with friends. For those of you guys who don't know Golf with Friends, what it is kind of like a putt-putt, a mini golf game, but at different levels, a whole bunch of different shit. It's a lot of fun if you guys have never seen content for it. So that came out this week. Also, Maneater comes out on the 22nd, tomorrow, which we have talked about once way back when, I think right after South. I feel like we talked about this after South.
East.
Or maybe it was right after East. I feel like I know we've talked about it.
Right after East, because I was at the demo with Les.
Okay, so yeah, that's what. Because I was like, I don't remember it from South, but I know I've talked about it.
At South because it was at East, and like that was one of the cool things that was at East. Okay. We were able to play that.
Yeah, so
I was able to sit down
this
with the
comes out this week. If you guys don't remember, I'll play the little video here. You play as a shark. If you don't remember. So this is like episode 3, maybe, of the web show. 3 or 4.
I would enjoy it.
I know, like it looks like
eating everything.
Yeah.
The food chain will be disrupted.
You play as a shark.
And the drama will get
The graphics look a little glitchy. I mean, am I wrong?
I mean, it's definitely a lower budget game, but also I think this is the same video that has been out for a while, and it has the PlayStation symbol, so I feel like this is a PlayStation-based video.
And the hunter
But I think this might be the same video that we watched when we first talked about it before, Geek. This is their launch trailer. So I just wanted to pull up like the.
That would be my game. Just eat everything.
So but yeah, it officially comes out.
You're absolutely correct that that was their original launch trailer. I believe it's been out for about 6+ months.
Yeah.
So I mean, this isn't anything new. This isn't with like the latest.
Do I have a
update
man-eater
or anything
thing?
like
Nope,
that.
I don't. I couldn't remember if I made a man-eater thing. But yeah, so that comes out on all platforms tomorrow. Tomorrow being Friday,
it's a lot
the
of fun
22nd.
because it has a lot of abilities. You can jump out of the water and take people off of boats if they're hanging out there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so if they're out there fishing, you can absolutely jump out of the water, catch them. You know, you can kill other sharks and other things in the land to gain health. There's you know, you can tail whip. There's a lot of things, and it's really fun. It's a very trolly game, and I think a lot of people have fun with it. The only thing you're missing is the ability to be like the people on the dock or on the boats. You know, like a GTA. Like I feel like that's what it's missing. It's like, let me be out there like trying to kill the shark.
Yeah.
And like, you know, right. So like, I feel like that would be fun for a multiplayer aspect. Is like, you know, okay, Kdog's out there. I know he's the shark. I want to join his lobby in his stream and be one of the people.
Be one of the people on the
him.
boat. Yeah.
Right, like out on the boats, you know, trying to kill sharks. I'm gonna set some mines out there. I feel like they missed the mark
On that.
right on that. Because I feel like that would have opened up a lot for this game.
I don't know that it really has like I didn't see that it really had much of a multiplayer aspect to it.
As
So
far as
it's
I know,
kind
it has none.
Yeah.
It is completely a single player.
Yeah, it does have
You as the
RPG
shark.
elements. So like you said, like you get the health and all that, but also like you saw like that video, which is obviously like we said, an old incarnation of it. But you have different evolutions of your shark, so that's how they're calling it. But so you have different traits and all that. Obviously, or if you're a different evolution of the shark, you might have armor or things like that. So there are like kind of like those maybe arcade or RPG elements, however you want to classify them, where you do have like different stats and armor and things like that. So as you progress through the game, you do get stronger, you know, for lack of a better way of putting it.
I feel like their replayability, they're going towards play it a different way versus, you know, like continuing the story. It's like, okay, you played it as a complete monster. It's like, okay, you could play it as a different way. You know, it's like playing as a warrior versus a sorcerer. I feel like that's the only replayability that they're giving you in this game. So I mean, and that's where it comes into the value of the price.
I'm curious because it
like,
shows like pictures of like different things. So it shows the sharks, and if you're on the Steam page and all that, it also shows pictures. And I don't know for sure, but it shows pictures besides the evolution, but main focus pictures also on like alligators and things like that. So I'm wondering, like, you have like the shark and all that, but is there also like one of your evolutions or characters that you can play is like you can play like a fucking badass fucking 300-year-old alligator?
That would be cool if you're
like,
because
like,
I mean, as far as what I saw and played, that was not the case.
So, but I mean, like, you have like these pictures here. So what I'm talking about, like, just on the Steam page, you have like all these pictures, which obviously the different armored shark, all this kind of stuff with the main thing, but just main focal point. Also, you have just the same style of picture. This alligator, crocodile, whatever.
Right. I've never seen that alligator, so
and
I have no
it's the same
idea.
thing. So I'm curious if you could have like different, you know. It's
Maybe.
weird that these would be a random background
Maybe.
something if you couldn't play as them. The way that they have the
Agreed.
pictures set up. I just say it
so
shows.
maybe it's not just sharks. It's just saying man-eaters in general. So if
Yeah,
you're
so
a
maybe that's an
predator in the water-
unlockable predator. Yeah.
Right. So if you're a predator in the water, right. So
I mean,
looks like a whale.
Yeah, there's a whale. So.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe.
I mean, it
man-eater
says giant
just
shark
means-
is the main focus is the shark, but maybe you could unlock as a playable character, for lack of a better way of putting it.
And that's a white whale. I mean, that has to be Moby Dick.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, like, because
mean,
so like
there is
this smaller
there
thing that
is
you're
no other
eating
white
here
whale.
is not the main focus of this picture. That's why like the pictures, like every other picture, the main focus is like the shark and all that. And even
Right.
here,
well, because,
like you could
all
see
those small things you can eat to
Yeah.
gain health and to gain, you know, and to gain speed and do things, you know, like I remember there was a giant turtle, and it's like you had to like break his shell to get to, you know, like to get to his meat or something like that. There was something silly with that.
it's just
Do you think
weird.
Maybe they'll use it like a level up type.
Right.
Maybe.
Right. Right, like the more you eat, the stronger you get.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm assuming that you level up eventually.
Yeah. It seems like that's how you unlock like the different evolutions and things like that.
Yeah.
But it's just weird, like looking through like those pictures. Like I said, I feel the way that the pictures are set up, it's weird. These two are what stand out to me. Like that barracuda, that type of thing, and like the alligator crocodile here, like they stand out as being focal points of these pictures. For have them to be just kind of like side things that could maybe eat you or whatever is kind of like weird to me, because they're like the environment pictures are totally different, but then you have a shark, different evolutions of them. Agreed. And then these. So I don't know, like I just we'll see, but that might be a thing. That's just me looking at it right there. But that comes out Friday. I will probably be getting it is. The weird thing is, like, okay, so I don't have the price because on Steam it just has still add to wish list, even though it's confirmed. Even though it's confirmed that it is coming out on PC on Steam on the 22nd, it does not have the price on Steam.
It better be $39.99.
So let me do a quick Google
it better
search.
Be less than that.
let me. It's $29.99 to $39.99. Anything less or more, I feel like.
So everything for like Xbox One and all that says $40, $39.99. That's my biggest thing. Is it definitely could not have been more than that. I assume Steam it's going to be the same. It just doesn't have it listed for whatever reason. I don't know.
Yeah,
we'll see.
How much did you say?
$39.99.
Yep, I was
so,
right.
Yeah, that's what I say. Yeah, I figure most games like now that aren't AAA. Bullshit.
To be a shark,
Hey, dog,
yes.
you could just like take it back,
shark.
and you could fix it. I'm sorry.
Wait, what was the price that it was supposed to be? Hold on, wait, rumored. What did you say?
29.
Oh yeah, it was 29. I just saw.
I said 29 to $39.99. That's exactly what I said.
Okay, I'm sorry. 28.99.
Okay.
All right. Other games. So we'll talk a little bit more about this next week. Other games coming out in the near future. So not just this week, but in the near future. Next week. Fantasy Scroll, not Fantasy Scroll. Phantasy Star Online 2. Phantasy Star Online 2 officially launches next week, the 27th on PC. It is going to be cross-play compatible with the Xbox. So of course, it's already launched on Xbox. You've had some people playing it, but the PC Windows 10 version was pushed back. Now we do have an official date. It is coming out on the 27th. Still cross-play with your friends who are playing it on Xbox, etc. I will probably be playing it just because I've been looking forward to a new MMO. I'm not saying I'm going to main it or anything, but I'll probably, since it's on PC finally, I'll load it up for a day on stream and see how I feel. But it is coming out. The Windows 10, like I said, cross-play between all of it. PC-wise, it is giving login bonuses for everybody on PC. Just for playing on PC and downloading the game and playing it. Wait, what? You cut out.
I said Master Race.
Oh yeah, PC Master Race, exactly. But yeah, so we get in-game goodies. I'm assuming cosmetics. It didn't say exactly what they are, but I guess when we log in and all that, we get good shit for waiting on PC. That's my assumption, is that, hey, you guys had to wait, so here you go.
Here's your bonus. Now, this game I'm a little iffy on. Is this like is this a remastered game?
So it's not a remaster. It's literally the game. That's the only issue I have with it. And this is, I've talked about it with recent. I've been looking for an MMO, but there's really no new MMOs. Phantasy Star is just released now on Xbox, is released now on PC. This game has been out for years in the Asian market. It is now coming to the American market without being able to run
15 years, right?
I don't know, it's 15 years, maybe like 10 or whatever. The original came out in early 2000s, I want to say. Phantasy Star 1. Phantasy Star 2.
Is this not original Sega, right?
Dreamcast had Phantasy Star 1, correct. Phantasy Star Online was Dreamcast.
Why are you laughing at me?
No, you're right. No, she's right. So Phantasy Star Online was Dreamcast. Phantasy Star Online 2 has been out for a while. I don't remember where it originally launched on, but definitely for a while. But it was only an MMO-wise in Asian markets. So we've talked about it before. It is now live on Xbox and Windows now as the 27th, Windows 10. It's coming out live in American markets with the first 3 years of content, but with modern scaling and updates, if that makes sense.
Right.
So they have the first
like
3 years.
World of Warcraft update.
Yeah, the way if you just started playing World of Warcraft now, where it has the first 3 years of story, but it has all of the updates, balancing, graphics, all that have been done in the past 15 years. That's it. So it's kind of a new release, but kind of not. So
essentially a remaster, but
yeah, kind of. But that's not like yeah, exactly, but not. So the first 3 years are what they're releasing of story content, and then they're going to release the rest of it as they deem appropriate. But it has balancing and all that things, bugs and things that they fixed over however many years live. Like I said before, I will probably play it just because I've been looking for an MMO, but this is just like Rumored said, I feel like there's not a lot of MMOs right now. Like I want a good MMO to play, but there's really nothing.
You really don't.
Out
MMOs
there.
for streamers are a death sentence.
I know they are, but I just want something to play.
But so that would
every
be an
once in a while.
game.
Yeah.
Or every once in a while, but MMOs for the majority of the content creators are a death.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not saying like as I want to do it as a streamer. I'm talking about me as a player. Like I just want to play an MMO. But I mean, even like the closest thing we recently had Bless come out, but that's not my style of MMO. Like Bless is like that more.
That's a button smasher. That's
yeah, exactly. It's a button
smasher.
I don't see that as an MMO to me. I'm old school,
Dauntless.
EverQuest,
That's
WoW.
Dauntless. Right.
Yeah.
Right. So you're a WoW EverQuest player, so it's a true MMO. It's more about the spells that you're clicking versus the buttons that you're smashing.
Yeah.
They mean more than being able to repeatedly smash them.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's the rotation versus everything else.
Yeah.
But
there's not anything like that coming out that I know of, and that annoys me.
But there shouldn't be, because there's not a market for it.
Yeah,
because
I
there's
get it.
not enough people, I feel like, that are into games like these, because the majority of the market are FPS players. Right. And it's hard because with these games, it's like Phantasy Star Online. It was a free to play and always has been, but they have those incentives, right, to buy like your monthly passes. It's all the same. It's just like World of Warcraft, except for they don't push the subscription in order to play.
Yeah.
Which World of Warcraft has changed. But I just feel like that model has got to go, and they have to go to like a Apex Legends, Fortnite. It's like cosmetic only changes.
Yeah.
It's like you're gonna have to make these cosmetics beautiful and amazing, and you just have to keep the gameplay at that high level. And I feel like that's going to be the future of MMOs.
Because the market is not going to buy into them.
The market is not, and that's what's being proven, is they're not. And I mean, you see that with World of Warcraft's numbers. You see that with anyone that's a paid a monthly fee. It's a pay to play. Not pay to win, but pay to play.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. It's unfortunate. I miss playing an MMO every once in a while. Right, Kitty?
I don't, because I like having a life.
I know. But I've had that itch like lately. Just like I want to play like an RPG, but with my friends. Like maybe that's more what it is. It's not like I want to play an MMO, but I want to play an RPG with my friends. And
I feel that completely. There's not a game out there that fills that void.
Yeah. The closest thing is Destiny, and we've talked many a time how Destiny just disappoints me over and over. Over and over and over. It's like having an ex. It's just disappointing.
And I really like Destiny, but my problem was I didn't have the right Destiny friends on the right Destiny console or PC platform.
I mean, I've had my talk many a time on Destiny, but yeah, I don't know.
Great storyline, man. Great storyline. I freaking love Destiny storyline, but man, it's like after that main story arc, it was a done game for me. Like they didn't have what it took to keep it going.
I'm messing around with Kitty. I'm distracted.
Kdog doesn't enjoy what you're saying.
I enjoy. I'm getting licked right now. This is the most action I get anymore. So this is pretty much it.
Have you ever played an MMO?
Stop it. So I kind of did back in the day, but I haven't really.
So what's the most addictive game that you've ever played? Like that that you thought it, you slept it, you woke up and you thought about it, you wouldn't play it, and like just time slipped away, like 12 hours gone. Bam, what game is that?
Was an MMO?
Just in general.
It has to be MMO in general.
Oh, like Cooper.
Hey, there you go.
Okay.
All
So
you know,
just
there you go.
a really good RPG
Yeah.
from the past. Okay, so that's cool. I mean,
There you go.
that's amazing. That's what.
So we'll be hanging out and playing Ghost of Tsushima.
Had a certain amount of ways that you could play it, right? So once you're done with it, the addiction's over.
Hey.
So imagine that addiction that never ends because they continue to add content that's, you know, not only great, but it's relevant to you, and it gives you that itch of progression.
You got it right. Right.
That's what MMOs are, and that's what sucks you in.
I'm sorry, I'm so listening, but fucking Kdog.
That K-cat right over there, yeah, I know. Its arms are like they look fake.
You know what he's thinking? Let me the fuck go.
Yeah, she's like, why the fuck did you pick me up? I was comfy.
Like, this is why I fucked up your chair.
Exactly. This is why I destroy everything.
I see your camera move several times. I'm like, that's the cat.
Yep. It's like, yep. She bumps it and shit. Yeah, it's a thing that happens. It just is what it is. We argue quite a bit, you know.
It is what it is.
Yep. But yeah, Baldur's 3. I mean, but Baldur's 3 will be a little different because that's going to be the same multiplayer that Divinity had, where I assume where you could load somebody and you'll each control like 2 characters, but it's almost like hard to really multiplayer it unless you both are playing through the whole storyline together. If it's anything like the Divinity games, which is the same developer, so right. I see it being the same issue. Where if one of you isn't there,
like you basically play, unless you always play together. Yeah, you end up playing their storyline and not yours, and having to redo yours and redo the same content.
Yeah, like we'd have to load back up, and yeah, I
feel like that's always going to be the case with these, you know, Baldur's Gate type games that aren't truly MMOs.
Yeah,
they're just they're multiplayer RPGs.
Mm-hmm. It's true. All right. But yeah, that comes out officially as of the 27th. Phantasy Star. So if you guys haven't checked that out, I'll be checking it out. I don't know how much I'll be playing it, but I'll be checking it out just to try it. Yeah, moving right along. Next goodness. If you guys didn't hear, Paper Mario. New official Paper Mario game coming out.
Super fun game.
Yeah. 6th game in the series, I think, overall.
One?
Yeah, Origami King.
I can't. There's no way. I couldn't bring myself to play it.
Already? It's not even out, and you're just like, nope, not happening.
Wow.
Ow.
I can't. I think they could have done better. I'm not trying to be hateful, but
it's just was announced. What? It's a brand new game.
Paper Mario.
It's literally. I'm sorry. Like with the technology, I feel like they could have done better.
I mean,
like origami.
It's asking for like really good high resolution. You know, like what's that? Yoshi's Woolly World. It's like he's a ball of wool. Okay, he can only get so woolly.
Yeah, I mean, ideally. So I had the video queued up. We'll watch it. Like I get what she's saying, but I'm not like disagreeing. I get what you're saying, but I feel like for as long as they stick to like the art style, just with modern day graphics of the art style, like this is it's a style. So I don't know. Here's the launch video of it. It comes out on the 17th. It is entitled, or July 17th, not the 17th, because there's still a month in between. But July 17th is announced, is coming out. I think it's great that Nintendo is just like, hey, this game's coming out. We know nothing fucking about it, really, until they're like, hey, this game's about to come out. It seems a recurring thing with Nintendo.
Welcome.
And I'm okay with it. Yeah, exactly. Like, here's a game. Next month.
Enjoy.
Surprise! Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like the graphics are good. Like they did good with.
It's Paper Mario, so I'm not. You know, it's what it is. It's Paper Mario. I'm not expecting, whatever.
I do like this though. Like where it's like.
Good ass look from Mario.
2D fucking no.
I mean, like it fits the theme though. It's the style.
That's definitely a 2020 ass on Mario. I don't know what you're talking about.
He's been working it,
He's been watching those TikToks. He's been doing it.
I mean, like that's 2020 graphics right there. The folding and other shit going on, like.
Stop. No. I mean, to me, like the way this gameplay goes out, I just feel like I would just get sick. I don't know. I feel like
I mean,
that'd
he
be
still looks the same, but I mean, he's supposed to still look the same. Everything else is supposed to be
like,
origami
to me,
and
it's
folded.
like a 3D, not 3D. Like it throws me off. I don't like it.
I just simply so we'll talk about that in a second. How we just saw them, but so you have your the same 3D Paper Mario character, obviously in a different world. This is all origami based. So
Confused.
yeah. So as I say, so you guys just saw there the arms. The main thing. This is an exploration based game. Or the exploration is, yeah, but it's the base is off of, you know, a lot of the exploration and abilities are based off of you acquiring this new like origami style ability, which is called 1,000 folded arms, which is why you guys saw like he's able to extend his arms. So that's like
so the new abilities and everything new in the game have the origami element, and that's what makes this, I feel like, his new power.
He has a Metroid helmet.
That's awesome.
It's a nightmare. I think it's a nightmare.
I feel like this is genius. I know it's a lot harder. It's a lot harder than you would think to make, you know, like 2D elements look through like in a 3D world.
I know. I respect it.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Do not get me wrong. The graphics, they're on point. Like they did good with what they were going for, but the whole origami concept, I can't.
Do you have a backstory to this?
I don't buy it. Anyway,
Did you have a very hard time as a child trying to make origami? Is that why you're very upset about this? Is there somebody who hurt you with origami?
They said make this crane, and she said, "I can't. I'm never gonna love origami again." And then
how do you make a swan?
The hate for Paper Mario began then.
My dad said, make this origami swan or I'm never coming back from buying cigarettes, and I haven't seen him in 20 years. Like that. That's what I'm hearing. Yeah, he's never been back.
Look, all the paper cuts, okay? All the paper cut memories. Thank you, Lulu.
I mean, I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it's gonna be a great game. It's something. It's great. It is continuous series.
What you're gonna expect from the next gen Paper Mario?
Yeah, it's the newest generation Paper Mario game. Like I think it's gonna provide what I expect it to. And that is the new generation Paper Mario game.
Yeah, if Paper Mario is your thing ever, this is gonna be your next thing.
Yeah.
The notes that I made, literally just weird. That's all I put.
I love that like Rumored is like my favorite guest because she's actually like taking time to make notes and everything about all this stuff. Everybody else, oh no, because I'm the same. Like I have to do this as like the talk show host. I have to have like notes and talking points because otherwise the show just goes to shit. I tried it once, doesn't work.
I gotta have notes.
Yeah, no, but it's like so it's like it's nice when because a lot of times the guests just kind of sit there and just kind of like respond. And like every once in a while, like, and I have to like kind of prod them for like, hey, what do you think? And like because I could tell that they didn't like
because I mean you're like absolutely just jabbing them in the throat.
Yeah.
Okay, but first, hello, as you both know that I am the.
I knew Rumored was gonna come prepared.
Oh yeah, no, honestly, I know. I'm
like,
a fan.
Did you go through this stuff? She's like, absolutely. She's like, blah blah blah. I'm like, I knew you would.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, I'm here. I got
There's a lot of people that just like
this all day, and you see that's the thing is the majority, like you said, the majority of the people that came on here, they're like, this is a second thought.
Yeah, they're like, I don't know anything about this. I'm like, I literally linked you and gave you a bunch of sources so you could at least have an idea of talking points. They're like, yeah, I don't know anything about this. I'm like, Rumor could testify. I literally send so many links and articles for every topic, at least so that way you have something, you know, a little bit of head thought. You know,
and my thing is, I'm like, so both of these guys know, like, I'm the least techie, the least game knowledgeable person in the world. Like, that's not me. I'm like, I got this. I need notes. And so, like, I was telling Disciple as you were getting ready, I'm like, okay, I've got these links. I've got 17 links, right? I'm like, I look through like a couple of them. I'm like, oh, these are quick, easy. I'll look at them like a couple minutes before stream. And I go back to it, and I've only read like 25%. I'm like, oh my god, so I'm like reading.
That's like I tell people.
Some of them are just a peruse through it, but some of them have very good details. And if he calls you on them, and you're like, it shows.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it really does because you're like, yeah. I mean, I read it, but I didn't. You know.
I mean, like
quiz me. Quiz me, bro.
No, I like it. No, I get it. But that's why I tell people it's like I spend I spend time finding like topics. I go through a lot of different things, and I find a bunch of topics, and I whittle it down because there's only so much we could talk about. But then like every Wednesday before the show, I probably start at about 7 p.m. and I make notes before the show leading up to it. So that way it's all still fresh in my mind also. So that way, even if I don't necessarily write it down, it's still fresh. But I mean, so I spend like 3 hours before the talk show every week, you know, prepping for the show, you know, not including just finding the articles, you know.
Or
right, Katie?
messaging your guest host, hey, you didn't do this.
Yeah, hey,
Hello?
I still need you to do this. Yeah. Ow. Ow.
I mean, it happens, but I mean,
Yeah. No, it's funny. You could tell the difference in like certain. Yeah, you could tell like different. Some guests are literally more like fly by your seat kind of like whatever, and then other ones like rumored are a little more prepared. You know. I try to provide the most information so that way nobody feels like they're coming in without any knowledge of what's going on. I tell people it's like I will literally give you enough information where you could at least talk. You know, even if you don't know anything about it, you could at least be like, "Oh yeah, this seemed interesting." That's all you need. You could just be like, "Hey, you know."
It's basic junior high education level, because you have to go to this link and then come up with just like a paragraph relative, you know, conversation.
This is how I feel about this. That's all I need. That's all I need.
That's all he's looking for.
That's all I need.
If you can give any more than that, bro, A+.
Fucking solid. That's all I ask. Give me 3 to 4 sentences on every topic. Yeah. I'm happy. I am happy as a host, because I will fill in the rest. I have enough notes. I will fucking jabber and I will rant. I will fill in the rest. Big bet.
And I do too. Like,
when Disciple's on,
we can fill in way more than you could possibly need on any of this crap.
I'm over here like I do have my notes, but I'm like, between you guys, I'm like, Yep.
By all means, jump in as much as you want. You know. But we're also, like we said. Yeah.
That feels like they are not prepared when they come on the show. I'm sorry, but that's just no. Yeah. Like between the messages between me and you and the links I've got, like I'm ready. It's like I'm ready for my test.
Yeah,
it really is.
And I say so. I'm just used to at this point talking more than less, because I could definitely tell, but like some people definitely are like, all right, well they are just kind of here. So I'm like, all right, I'll just like talk more. So I've gotten more in the habit of just filling in space and time. And also, we're all streamers at this point, so we just fucking talk to talk. Because what the fuck else do we do? Yeah, professionalism. What the fuck is that word? Anyways. What were we talking about? Speaking of Paper Mario.
Paper Mario.
Paper Mario.
Origami Mario.
Yeah, Rumored's next main game. Paper Mario, Origami King.
Rumored is 2 thumbs down. I'm gonna go with one up, one down.
I would say like
it's not my type of game.
Exactly. Like I'm 1 up, 1 down. If somebody gifts it to me and was like, hey, let's play it, like whatever, I may play it, like, you know, whatever. I may buy it randomly if I just get an off day on stream and I'm like, I don't know what I want to play. If it's like on sale. I'm not saying like I'm spending $60 on it. I'm saying if I see it's on sale.
That's a buy.
If you guys want to know just how weird this game is to me, I'd rather buy the new PS4. I'd rather waste $500 on an engraved console than play this. I'm sorry.
That's an automatic mute.
Love me.
Wait, hold on. Where's my button? Where's my button?
$400 on that
there we
piece
go.
Of shit. Yeah, there we go. That's better.
No.
I have all the buttons linked up. I could do that if need be. I do it to Disciple every once in a while. I'm like, nah, yeah, you're done.
He does. It's funny.
I'd rather play Maneater. You know what? I swear to God, if
Maneater is in the original game. This is Paper Mario version 7.
I'm gonna eat you both. Like,
don't tease me with it. Wait, hold on. Is the husband okay with this? I feel like we're getting into territory that, you know.
I'm gonna be the Barracuda, damn it.
Not.
My comment was way too inappropriate.
I was saying like we're not even gonna get into that one. I'm just gonna sit here and yeah.
Okay, next.
Yeah, moving right along.
What is next on the agenda?
Yeah. Hold on. Anyway. Yeah. Next. Our favorite game of all time, Disciple. We talked about it a couple weeks ago.
One of the best visual games 2019.
One of the best visual games, hands down.
Are you guys being sarcastic?
No, that part was true. One of the best visual games.
Everything else
best
was
looking game.
sarcastic before that.
Everything else was rough.
Because per their reviews, this game like got annihilated.
Yes.
Oh, it was like a 1.5 out of 5 stars or something stupid.
Yeah, horrible.
The game, we've
They
talked
got
about it plenty
beat
of
up.
times. When it came out, it was great, especially on PC. If you were playing it on PC, this game looked fucking
Ray tracing.
phenomenal. Yeah, one of the first games that really brought it out and made it look great. Like my 2080 Ti, I fucking loved it because I when I played this off stream, because I had to lower it down for stream because it was that intensive. But when I played it fucking off stream, this game was fucking
You're in a
beautiful.
4K fucking Iron Man
Oh yeah,
civilization.
it was fucking great. Gorgeous fucking game. The first 15 hours of this game, phenomenal.
Yeah.
After that,
It's
it
actually
fucking
like
dropped
Iron
like a
Man.
fucking rock.
Iron Man in the world of Avatar
Yeah.
Ooh.
with all 4K.
That's what it was.
Beautiful. Or just living background. It was amazing. The
Yeah.
gameplay was good. Everything was good. The story was slow, but
Good.
good.
It was good up until like the end. Then it felt like they just had to rush to finish it, and I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
Like this is one of those games, and I alluded to No Man's Sky, and this is I'm going to allude it to here in a minute. They're kind of taking a No Man's Sky approach. It's one of those that feel like it got rushed at the end, where they just kind of had to wrap it up, because even like the last mission is on the same map as the first mission. It's not even any different, just different characters. So even
that fucking baffled me.
yeah,
by the way.
like, it's the
like,
same
why are we
fucking
back?
yeah.
I'm
Why
like,
are
is
we
this
on the
level
same
1?
exact map? Yeah, it's same exact map, no difference. It's like it feels definitely like they had to
Same.
rush at the end. Yeah, it's like a full circle. But it's called Anthem 2.0, or I think they had another code name for it. But it's literally going back to the drawing board for all those guys that have played Anthem. Got a kind of aspect, got a feel for that. No, it was great for what it was, but it definitely fell short in a lot of areas as you put more time into it. The new team is it's a team of 30 people, so a smaller, relatively smaller team of people. But this new, they want to make this work. That's why I kind of attribute it to No Man's Sky. And how they did it, and that's what I think we've said on the web show, and we kind of came to the conclusion that they need to take a No Man's Sky approach, which is just fucking back up, say, we fucked up, we're gonna fix everything, and we're gonna make this game better how it should be, which is what No Man's Sky did, and a lot of people have said that it's 10 times better than how it launched. And it seems that they're taking the same approach. So I'm not saying that they watched the web show in the past, but they might have, and you're welcome.
They
watched that one episode. They watched one episode where we said, at least one episode. Anthem next. That was the other one. Yeah.
There had to have been 5 episodes where we've talked about Anthem.
Yeah.
No
So
joke.
reference it. But I know we've gotten into it like in depth a couple times. But so 30 people. Their main focus with the revamp of it that they're doing with Anthem 2.0, Anthem Next, is transparency, which is what I like of them talking about it. Which is they are their goal is to give you weekly updates of what they're working on. This is what they're doing. And they even said, like, some of it will still be in game, some of it won't. They're like, some of these ideas we might really love and might get left on the cutting room floor. Some of these that we might not like as well might make it in the final game, just depending on how it works. But their goal is to remake this game, take the great elements like the graphics, the being able to be Iron Man and Avatar, like Disciple put it, and bring those and build on that and make it what the game should have been at launch. And their goal is the transparency side of it, which is what I like. I feel, as a company, I admire that. That's admirable. Whether or not it works, we'll see. But that's what I like. I've said plenty of times before. This is not the first time nor the last time I say it. From a company standpoint, this is what I value from a company. If you say you fucked up, here's what we're doing to fix it. Their goal is to weekly. They said their goal is to weekly give updates. Say, here, this is what we're working on. Whether it's a tiny bit, a lot of it, we're working to make this game better. And I think, that's what they need to do at this point. I think as a company, I think a lot more companies should do this. Just transparency is key, especially in the modern age where everybody expects information right away. The more information, even if it's small little, hey, we made this adjustment this week, even little things like that, I think are better in this day and age, because everybody's looking for, instant gratification, instant knowledge of what's going on. So the fact that they're stating this as their goals moving forward bodes well to me.
Right.
Now, whether or not, no, go ahead.
I was gonna say, so like I'm not familiar with Anthem, but based off kind of like what I read, they took, I don't know, I don't see games right now, like the major games, listening to what the community is saying. Like, while Anthem's like, just like you said, holy shit, okay, we fucked up, fucked up here, we're gonna fix it, and no matter how long it takes, we're gonna fix it. You don't, in my opinion, you don't see that a lot.
Yeah.
And so I'm actually excited. I didn't try the game that they released that got such a bad rep, but the steps that they're taking, I'm actually really excited to see the 2.0, to see what they come out with.
Yeah. And I'll be interested to see if they release it actually as Anthem 2.0, like how they actually release it, depending on the time frame, whether they release it as a new game, whether or not they say, hey, if you bought this game before, here's the game, or maybe like half price on the new one, like an update, like a DLC type of thing. I'd be interested to see how they play that into the future. But I agree. I have a huge respect for any company as a brand, especially, this, bigger company initially, bigger game when it was supposed to be coming out, a lot of publicity, and them just going, we fucked up. Yeah. We're going to
top 10 out there.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, what my perspective is 2020 is the year of I fucked up.
Yeah. If you're gonna fuck up any year, like, let's just be honest. Right. Yeah, we got the time.
Like 2019, 2020 across the board, regardless of the industry, this is the year of I fucked up, and we're gonna show transparency. And I feel like, and a lot of companies, they're honest with it and they're gonna do it, or it's pure words. And until this happens, I mean, it's all like weekly updates. They better hire 3 people to make sure that those weekly updates get done, or else they're not. Because I guarantee it, because they're over. They have
one person's only job needs to be is to provide those weekly updates.
And I guarantee that's not the case. Yeah. That is the project manager's 17th duty on Thursday before he wraps it up.
Yeah, this is what we worked on this week. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And it's going to be
everybody emailed me what you worked on this week so I can make the Twitter post, Right.
And then, the dude, oh man, got this done on Tuesday. Oh shit, that got rolled back because of a bug. Oh, we just, and then you just made this public post. All I'm saying is that a lot of companies, specifically software, games as well, and streaming platforms as well, have made a lot of promises and said it's coming. And said, we're going to update you, but we have no time frame on any of that.
Yep.
And we're not even promising that it's coming. Yeah. And we're and absolutely we're listening to all of your feedback. I mean, it's just that is.
And that's like standard, that's definitely a thing, and that's but I think that's why I think, like Rumored said, I find this more admirable, because whether or not they actually do it, we cannot say months about that, but the fact
that's what makes it admirable, right? Is, do they follow through?
But I mean, there's a lot of companies that haven't even said that. The fact that they came out and specifically said, hey, we want to be transparent, we want to do this, because they knew.
I feel like Apex, I feel like every company out there recently that has had problems, Apex, we agree with the hit registration. It's in the works. That was a week ago. Yeah. A week and a half ago. I mean, we're a solid week into the new season of Ranked. Nothing. It's being rolled out.
Yeah. The sound is there have been so many times I've gotten killed when I've been fucking killed, and I've been there with chat and D and everybody, and I've been like, he was to the left, right? Like, I fucking heard him to the left, and this motherfucker's over here to the right, and I'm like,
there's audio, there's Modern Warfare absolute bullshit with the cheaters, with everything. Oh, we're being active about blah blah blah. The transparency is there, but the action behind those words is not.
So we'll see. We'll definitely have to
across the board. I can't name a single company that's like on it.
No, you're right.
I agree.
Not one. Valorant, another one, like a huge title, like one of the biggest in the news, has absolutely dropped the ball on their anti-cheat system. And the transparent. Well, no, I'm with the transparency with that, and how it's going forward.
I mean, like
don't
me,
feel
like I've talked about it a little bit, like last week and all that. I don't know that they.
And you're right. If you read their blog posts,
Yeah, that's the thing. Like if you read it, you were there. I think like generally for mass media, it wasn't transparent. Yeah, and that's the thing. So generally, if you just went, oh hey, this is a thing, cool, you didn't realize it. But like me, it didn't sidetrack me because I read it.
Right.
But
so what they needed is a message from their CEO saying, "Hey guys, this is the state of our business.
This is a thing.
This is what you should expect from us." Bam, plain words that people can watch a YouTube video and understand.
Yeah. But I mean, even
That's
at
the
that point, though,
people are looking for.
That's the transparency people you look for. But I mean, even at that point, how many people are going to click on that link and watch it? There's still going to be 50% of the people that the Karens out there of the gaming industry. We need that's what we need to do. We need to figure out a name for Karens in video games because
we can't stop Karens.
But we need to figure out a name for the Karens in video games because that is definitely a thing. There are Karens in the video game world. It is a thing. We need to figure out what they're called. I don't know what it is right now, guys, but we need a name for them. We're going to trademark it. We're going to attribute this web show episode, and we're going to all get credit. We need to figure that out as a team. Karens and video games.
Overall name or like a new, like not Karen. Like,
I don't know, like a not Karen, because that's the thing. Like there's those people that are always going to find a way to bitch or whatever, even if the information is right there in front of them. We need to figure out the name for them. I don't know what it is right now.
Bridget's? I think they're Bridget.
Bridget
sounds
I don't know.
good.
I don't want to give them a female name just because I feel like it's whiny little guys who are sitting there. No, like I feel like it's
I kind of like Timmy's, but Timmy has the
Jim
Scrooge, the Scrooge thing, like little Timmy with the broken legs.
I feel like a lot of times I don't feel like it's I don't feel like it's female gamers or whatever that are the ones sitting there behind that Reddit message board. I feel like it's those neckbeard guys. Yeah, exactly. But it's
just whiny little bitches.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Kyle's. That seems like
Kyle's a good one. Kyle is always a great name though for terrible guys. Like Kyle is always
a great name.
Kyle's always a great name just to be like, fuck you, Kyle.
Just the K's. Just the K's
fucking Kyle's.
Gaming,
yeah.
You know?
I don't know.
I do. I think like there's a lot of issues, but I don't even get me started on Warzone.
Yeah.
But like I said, but kind of to bring it back to Anthem, the fact that they're like, hey, we're a small team. We're working on it. We're going to try to get you.
30 is not that small.
As I said, I was like small-ish. Like, it is, but it isn't.
Yeah.
That's post-release, obviously, because pre-release, I'm sure that team was 80.
Yeah, and well, that's why I feel like that's
right, so
that's why I said it's a small team.
Of 30.
It's a small team for
30,
redesigning.
6 of them are QA,
yeah.
Right. 5 of them don't do anything but manage.
Yeah.
Right, so you have 20.
They can be in charge.
So you have 20 actual developers that do development.
And that's why I said it's a small team, because you figure to redesign this game from before it launched, it had 80 to 100 developers. Now to redesign it, they're a skeleton crew.
Yeah.
Essentially, you're right, but I'm sure they're gonna hire out, like all the like any graphic artists or like anything that's going to change on that. But I mean, their core system is done and works.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
That's what I said small-ish. It is.
So, right. So they need to work on everything else that's not the aesthetics, the gameplay, because all that was good. Honestly, no one bitched about that.
Yeah. Yeah, oh yeah, the graphics, everything like that. It was just all the gameplay, the lack of end game, the storyline that just dropped off. Like
you and your dumb coding.
The first 12 to 15 hours of that game were great. I loved it. Absolutely loved the first 12 to 15 hours. Hour 16, I was like, what the fuck is this game? I am done with this. Like it was
just became very
terrible.
Repetitive. That was my thing. It's like after hour, whatever. It was 15 to 20.
Yeah.
But it just it's like, man, I was already here missions 1 through 3. It's like, why the fuck am I back here?
Yeah, doing a random grab quest. Yeah, a repetitive quest.
Obviously ran out of goddamn content.
Yeah,
and that was the biggest problem.
Yep.
So like I said, coming from somebody that's not very familiar with Anthem,
you're making me move your camera again.
Sorry.
No, you're good. I'm just gonna do it. I just think it's funny because it came up 2 weeks ago or whatever. I'm gonna do it. No, it's fine. I'm just gonna do it. Yeah, I know. I'm just gonna move you over to here because you never lean this way. So I'm going to do this.
I don't lean that
yeah,
way.
no, I'm the same way. So I'm just going to leave you
Perfect.
there normally. So that way, if you do lean the other way, it works. Because I'm the same way. That's why I have my K over here. Because I lean this way. You know, I never lean fucking this way. Because he was getting, so rumored he was getting behind his disciple thing. So that's,
Yeah, because I'm like, but I can't even stretch over there.
Oh, yeah. Now you have to really stretch to get there. Yeah. I just noticed that I'm looking over. I'm like, he's getting really close to his disciple. And I did it like whatever last time you were on. Yeah.
I know.
I think it's funny.
Do you see the black thing above me again? It's right here. See, right above my finger now. It's like a black line.
There's really nothing there until he.
Oh, perfect. Perfect.
No, there's not. I don't know what you're talking about. Gosh.
Okay.
I was exaggerating.
What about me? Y'all have a whole box. I have a rectangle.
That's as big as your webcam is. Don't even get on me. That's how big your webcam is.
16 by 9.
Yeah.
Are you like using like a webcam from 1940?
Yeah.
First of all, I was confused because I'm non-techie about making my whole. I didn't realize he could fix the green screen, or else I would have just gave you my whole webcam.
Yeah, see, I said I could. I worked with what I got.
He did. I was there. I mean, I was there. He said that he could, but you're like,
Okay, do you know who you're all talking to? This is rumored.
I do.
Like,
You should have put me on with your manager.
I should have. See, next time if I get to come back on this awesome show, I know what to do.
Well, you can apply. There's not really an application, but if you would like to be a co-host, let me know. I'll add you into the weekly.
Absolutely.
Hey, as a potential co-host.
You'd be a great co-host. I agree.
You really would, honestly.
I like it. I like this chemistry.
1000%.
I like it. I love it.
Well, it would be me and you and somebody else. It wouldn't be with Disciple. You would be Disciple in this scenario.
You would be me. Yeah, you take over my spot.
Oh.
Yeah, that's.
Aw.
I'm okay with sharing. I mean,
That's the thing. Like, I have different co-hosts. That's the thing.
Right.
So Disciple is the co-host this week. Like, I have Undercard. Like, I have JoJo. Like, so you would be that person with you, but not you.
The guest.
Yeah, with the
You
guest.
would be down here, and you would be poking at their butt.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and you would do that, and it would be great content. It would be great. So it works. Anyways,
I used to be over K, and I used to be able to do my stroking thing.
Yeah.
And then he would be up there.
Yeah, we used to, because I used to have the 4-person thing.
He's no longer. So I mean, it's just awkward.
We
now.
moved down to like the 3-person thing, and
That was just weird.
you know, we lost people and everything, and 3 works better because then we were able to talk more.
3 works way better.
Yeah, 3 does work a lot better.
This works good. And especially with that extra box. Oh wait, over there.
Yeah. Because then it's even, you know, once we finish up the new overlays and all that, it'll be even better. Yeah, over there. I could just point down because I know down is the same no matter what direction whether I'm reversed or not. Down is still down.
You're so bad at this.
I don't care. The sidewalk's out there. That's all I got.
Right, so Kdog is the opposite.
Yeah.
Kdog's over here.
I am.
It's the little things in life. Okay. Sorry. Anyway.
Wait, did I do that right? Wait, was I looking the right way? I did it the wrong way. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. All
This
right.
left is not. That's left.
Exactly.
All right, moving right along. Anthem. Obviously, Anthem 2.0. We'll see how it rolls out, or Anthem next, how it rolls out in coming weeks and everything else. I'll keep an eye on it. Won't be unless something big rolls out. I probably won't bring it back up on the web show until we see something more. But anxious to see what comes out of that because I did really like the game as it started. Once upon a time. That's the end of my official notes because everything else I could just read off of the fucking webpage. And I could throw these the fucking way. Apex. So I don't know if either of you guys have played it. Not Apex itself. We both know that you guys have played Apex. But of course,
The PvE.
The PvE, the new storyline thing. That's where, like, the articles that I sent ahead of time, I personally have not, partly because I have not played every single day to get the treasure chest, so I have not unlocked it yet. I think I have 4. Have either of you guys played the PvE yet, or no?
Yes.
How is it? What do you think? Is it worth the 5 days?
Me first. Okay. I like you. Okay, so to be fair, when I first played it, I thought it was solos. I really thought it was literally PvE, not you get to bring a squad. So me coming into it, I thought they did wonderful as a solo. As I learned and I started seeing all the rap that they got, and I realized that you could actually play it with the squad, yeah, they could have done way better. If they kept it literally solo PvE, I thought they did great. Because it's literally you against prowlers. It's you with literally almost the shittiest guns in the game. Legit, the shittiest guns in the game. Without the hop up.
P2020 with that hop up is not the shittiest gun in the game.
Hey,
Do you get the hop up? You don't get the hop up.
You get the hop up first thing you open. Like the first thing that you walk up to has the purple extended and the hop up for the P2020.
Okay, yes. Okay, he's right there. Yes, when you with the hop ups, yeah, they're great guns because I rock the Mozambique. I love it.
So they're literally one shot at that point.
They literally are. You're right. So maybe where I screwed up is I put my hop up on the Mozambique, which is 3 shots compared to.
Ugh.
Yeah. I was stupid. But again, that's what I thought of solo. You know?
Yeah.
Like, okay, these guns solo. Okay, this is a little bit rough, but I thought they did good because when you're fighting prowlers literally constantly, I was like, this is great because you don't have time to really read the markers and the shit that's going on. I thought they did great. So now that I realize that you could play with a full squad, yeah, they could have done more. They literally could have put a little bit more effort into it for how long it takes you to get the. So
what to you like makes the big difference between solo and having a group of 3? Like what would have changed it for you?
The fact that you have more. Okay, me with those guns fighting as many prowlers as they gave you, which for people that don't play a lot of Apex or haven't played it or didn't play the last season, prowlers are like these. I don't know, Disciple, how would you describe it? Just these
like giant dog-like creatures that are beastly.
Beastly, right? Like they're vicious. I mean, they do a lot of damage. So I thought the amount of prowlers that they gave you for the guns as a solo was good. The amount was good. The equivalency was great. But the fact that you can play a 3-man for as long as you have to wait to get those treasure packs, for as many prowlers as there was, they could have done way more. You wait so much for literally a 5-minute span into the quest. I think they. So
did you play it with a group then?
No, I played it solo.
Right. So I mean, so how it works is if you're with a group, more spawn.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Right. So I mean, so I feel like they're saying that the actual quest and the storyline behind it, I feel like, are flimsy. And you know, for a game that's incorporating any type of lore later, you know, because the game came with no lore release day, literally. Like you got introduced to these characters. Hey, you got dropped into a battleground, fight. You know, it was literally like a Street Fighter fucking scenario. Yeah. It's like, I don't know, we're just teleporting you here and bam, fight. And then now
I like Chappie. I know nothing about him. I have this unique character, but fuck it, I'm Chappie.
Right. I'm Chappie, right? I love his abilities because his abilities. So now they're adding actual storyline onto it. And this is, you know, a company that previously has done storyline games like Titanfall 1 and 2. Right, because this is in the same universe of Titanfall. So now they're trying to add a storyline and content, and I feel like for number 1, they did an okay job. Right there, you know, you needed to pick any character besides Loba. You could pick any of the characters except for Loba, and that was the character that's helping you in phase 1 and through the storyline. It's like, hey, I need you to go here and get this artifact. And so you needed to, you know, you progress through, you start out with a P2020 and a Mozambique, and you get better weapons and you get better attachments as you go through. And the zone is collapsing, right? So you still have that aspect of the zone is collapsing. So you have a specific amount of time. And not only that, you have these creatures that are coming after you once you get to, you know, the first little area, and they just continue to rush you. Right. So you could sit there and take longer, but they're going to keep coming. Right.
They don't stop.
They don't stop.
And I like that.
Right. Because I played it through on my PC first and then on my Xbox second, because I play on both platforms. So I did them both in the last couple of days, and I recorded them both for my YouTube content. and I stayed a lot longer on my Xbox, and man, it got hard. I almost died. Like, I had blue armor, I had heals, I had everything, and it's like, man, those sons of bitches almost got me. Like, I had the fear, I had the heart pumping like mentality, you know, where it's like, man, I got to get away. And to me, that's exactly what you expect from a storyline. I was involved. I felt like I was doing something, and I was legit scared that I was going to lose this mission.
I like I said, I haven't played it, so hearing both your guys' things. But from what I'm hearing, you almost had to orchestrate that feeling, though. You had to intentionally stay there a little longer.
Right, because it was so easy the first time.
Yeah, so
I'm gonna stick around and like kill a few more monsters and see it, and it's like, wow, they really piled up really fast.
Yeah, because
you cannot outrun them, even with my bloodhound ability, like his ultimate.
Yeah,
I used that, and I was running, and they were still catching up to me. I could turn on them, and they were practically one-shot headshot, but it still gave me like and I feel like they did that for a reason. It's like, hey, you stick around, this is what's going to happen. You're going to lose.
But I think a majority of people in the feedback that I was seeing, and it was very similar what Rumored said, is that for how long it takes to get this, 5 days of content, which
the thing that content for 10 minutes.
5 to 10 minutes is what, like, unless you intentionally kind of play it out a little more, it seems a little lackluster. And then the thing about that is also, you figure somebody like me who does not have the first one, so I'm playing, say I play 2 days a week, I'm never gonna get the end one because I need 5 treasure.
That's where they say catch up and here spend your
exactly
points.
So I need 5 days, I need 5 treasure chests to get the first one. But I mean, as a first one, I feel like, okay, now if I'm like getting to the end of the season and the first 3 that I played were lackluster, why am I gonna pay to get the rest of them? If I got through this,
what if they made it so like easy? And so I mean, see, this thing is, number 1 is easy, so they want you to get to number 2.
Yeah,
I feel like that's what they did. And number 2 is hopefully is gonna be a little bit harder. And that's going to get you number 3. And number 3 is where that should start have a difficulty where you can't just be any, numbskull that comes through and just like, I'm going to shoot the monsters, right? And it's like, you have to have some strategy. You have to think about this. You have to use heals.
Yeah.
You have to use, height to your advantage, right? Just like use some type of tactics to like make it a little bit more difficult. Because that's what I hope they don't do, is that they make it so easy that you can get through all of them by yourself. I hope that they make you have a group, right? The first one you can do solo, or you can have a group, but maybe you're gonna need a solid
you're gonna need the group to actually play it. I
feel like that's the direction they're gonna go. And
I hope they do that also. But also, I'm worried personally that even off of this first one, that you said that it scales off of how many people that you have. Coming from somebody who's played other games that have PvE along with PvP, looking at, say, not Bloodborne, but Battleborn and things like that had PvE things. Like, they scaled as well with how many people you had. There still was a level of difficulty to solo that even if you didn't like camp or whatever, there was from the get-go for that. So I hope that, I agree, I hope that by the third one, as somebody who hasn't played this yet, I hope that by the third one, but there's also a lot of people that, like I said, like myself, if you play 2 days a week, they might not get to the third one. And if they play 1 and 2 and they only are 5 minutes worth of content, I'm not gonna care to get the treasure packs. So I feel like they're kind of starting off a little bit behind the way that they made this first one. Just from what I've seen. I haven't played it. I'm just feeling out what I've seen.
Right, but you have to be a little bit fair, because tell me what game, any game that can come to your mind that the first level isn't easy. I mean, seriously.
Oh no, I agree. I'm just saying, like, for the comparing for how long it takes 5 treasure chests, so you need 5 days of playing this game, which right now during COVID,
but it's free, right? Like,
I mean, and right now during COVID, it's easier.
It's not like they're charging you 50, you know, Apex coins to get these, like just to progress to the storyline. See, now that that would bother me.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. Well, what if
you have to wait 24 hours? You could literally play one game. One game to get these free treasure packs.
But to me, it reminds me of like mobile time based games, and that's like kind of gets to me.
Your daily
your daily, your daily.
That's what they're trying to do, and I feel like honestly that is the way to do it because Fortnite does that.
But also,
mobile
I'd rather it be a daily check-in than getting a match, because there are some matches that you play that you don't find a treasure chest. I mean, they're common, but you could play
only if you die on the rip, like die on the landing.
There's been a couple matches where I've gone and I have not found that. I'm not saying all the time, but I'm saying you could have to play 2 to 3 matches. Maybe change it so if you play 1 game a day, you get that, rather than having to find it in game. You know, maybe that would be log in, play a game.
Opposed to that.
Yeah, you know, play a game. And then you get it rather than having to find it in world, because it seems like, you know, maybe you don't find it. Maybe you die off the rip 3 games in a row, or maybe, you know, whatever. Because there have been games that I have not found it in a match. And, you know, it just seems like
I would agree with that, except for that only happens if I only loot 3 bins.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if I loot 4 bins on any match, I've gotten one.
Yeah.
Or if you have your... like your squad mates, but between the game, at least the first 5 squads that die, once you're at 15 squads left, you're gonna find one.
Yeah. And I'm just playing devil's advocate here. I'm just trying to play the other side as somebody who has not done it. But you know, that's what it reminds. Yeah, that's what it reminds me of a little bit.
I mean, my thing is Apex. I mean, unpopular opinion, Apex. The shit that they keep doing, they're dying. They're killing the game, in my opinion. So they're coming up with things like, kind of like what chat said, like kind of like Farmville. Hey, you need to check in with me daily, or like, hey, you checked in with me daily to a certain point, you get a birthday badge.
Right.
You know, so
I don't feel like that's killing the game. I think there are a lot of other things that are killing the game besides that.
No, I mean they're killing the game in other ways, but they're trying to find.
Yeah, they're reaching. You're saying they're kind of reaching for other things to
100%. They're reaching for, again, like chat said, Farmville, a Facebook tactic.
Yeah, but I mean, like Call of Duty's been doing that forever.
Okay, but
Call of Duty,
I disagree with Warzone right now. Like, I think they're dying out too, because one, they don't have a cheat system. What do you call it?
The anti-cheat, which has gotten better. I played it like last night. I don't think I ran into any cheaters, which is saying a lot. And we're about to talk about Modern Warfare and Warzone here in a second, the updates. But
I'll bring that up when we.
I would say we'll talk about that, like, and how But no, I agree and disagree. But I think that's every game right now. What you're saying is that a lot of games are reaching because I don't think there's really one that has a grasp on the market besides Fortnite. But even that's not as a market. It has a grasp on its market, not the market. It has a grasp on its market. But
you bring up Fortnite. When Apex came out, Apex was doing it right, because if you notice, Fortnite had been out for at least 7 seasons, and they started mimicking Apex respawns.
Only in their ping is the only thing I've seen.
Ping and respawns were the biggest things.
Respawns, they're coming out with
respawns came after Apex.
Another thing they're copying in Apex. And
so I would say only because you had to go to the banner, and then in Fortnite they had your card that you had to pick up, which dropped where you died. So I mean that's the closest thing.
Well, for Fortnite, there was no respawn ability until Apex came out.
Right, but it's like. But I mean, Call of Duty Black Ops 4 had respawn in Alcatraz way before Apex was ever released. So I mean, if you're talking about respawns,
I don't think Alcatraz was out before Apex.
No, it wasn't.
I don't think so, because I switched over to Apex and I never played Alcatraz, and I was playing Black Ops. I think Alcatraz came after Apex.
I think it did.
It might have.
Yeah, so I think both the respawn and that came after, and I agree. I think Fortnite took those. But that more, to me, says that Fortnite just has a grasp on making, and what I've always said, adjusting their game to what works and what doesn't. and they've had a good handle
that's
on
a
that.
company that's not afraid to copy what works.
Yeah.
Right. That's what Fortnite has done. I mean, because they're not afraid to be wrong.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is like they've led the industry in a lot of ways, and then Respawn came in with Apex, and they're like, hey, okay, we're gonna adapt this. We need a ping system. We need a respawn system. Bam, they did it. Copying.
Yeah, within a month.
Form of,
yeah.
It's a great way of saying good job.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's a flattery. Copying is a form of flattery.
Right.
I mean, just like, okay, the gulag and see Apex. This is where I feel like Apex is grasping. They're digging. They're trying to grab what they can, because Call of Duty come out with their gulag, and Apex is like, what if we come out with a gulag? What are you gonna do with a gulag in Apex?
Yeah,
like,
and
it doesn't fit their system. It doesn't fit their system.
Yeah,
for one, but
it doesn't. It doesn't.
But thank God, because I mean, I feel like the gulag is a stretch, anyways. I mean,
I don't like the gulag.
Opportunities in that goddamn game.
That being said, with the new gulag, which we'll talk about in a second, I have won all but one of my gulags in the last 2 days of playing it. But that's we'll talk about that in a second.
I was watching you play it, and you're like, dude, I won. You're like, I won.
I just kept fucking winning. It's great. But yeah, no, Apex. I agree. So the new PvE mode, we'll see. We'll talk about this again probably next week. So the second episode will be live for next week. So we'll have a little better grasp. D will probably be the one who will be able to say, because Took's on the episode next week and she doesn't play Apex. I will probably not have it unlocked by that point. So you'll have to tell us how it plays out. But I think generally we all say consensus-wise that it's a little short, but we'll see how it plays out over the next 3 episodes. I think generally, depending by episode 3, and that's like what the season is. How many? I think it's supposed to be like 6 or 7 theoretically episodes. Yeah, something like that. So
I can't. I feel
maybe
like
10
it's more. I feel like 12 to 14 episodes.
Oh, okay.
It's a lot.
Okay.
Well, exactly. And
that's like 14.
And that's
like 14 weeks,
okay. So maybe that's why I thought that playing 5 days a week is a lot. Like, and that's why I thought, like, playing those games, if you don't get a game, whatever, like right now during COVID, it's fine for a lot of people, but the daily login, having to play, having to do this and that, and collect an item in game, if it's say it's 10 weeks, that's still 50 days.
I agree, though. It does feel like a lot, especially for someone like me that does play it, but I have to play it on both on the same day to get the
As somebody who doesn't play it, I play other games. I want to play other games. Having to play 50 games to see this story, like maybe after 2 weeks, maybe it would be cool if, okay, when week 3 comes out, if you didn't collect enough for whatever reason, you could play week 1s. Or whatever, like a 2 week span.
You're just 2 weeks behind.
Yeah, you're 2 weeks. Yeah, maybe something like that.
It would be nice.
Just.
I mean, my thing is with Apex. Again, a round 1, no matter what you do, is going to be easy. But I think, in my opinion, they did it okay. But you have people.
I mean, I feel like it's hard. It's very harsh for people to make a decision after one episode.
It is, and especially for them making the decision that they're making when there's people that either have to pay or were thinking about paying to catch up, and Apex is already getting such a bad rap, like they're gonna lose money. So I'm kind of 50-50. Like, I think they did
that's good. My side of it, where I'm trying to bring that devil's advocate of, okay, if you're paying to catch up, this is not a good foot to start on. It's kind of where I was going. And we'll see definitely by the next episode or the week after, but it's starting off lackluster. I feel like maybe it shouldn't have been harder, but maybe the first episode should have been longer. It should have had more to it to build up that hype for it. Even if it was the same level of difficulty, make it something more. But we'll see moving forward. Definitely revisit it in the coming weeks, episode 2 and 3 with Disciple or whoever we have next week, depending on if it's Disciple or not. But I'll definitely, I don't know if it's going to be Disciple. I was just assuming, like I was talking to him. And we'll see, and I'll at least have it. So we'll talk about it. Worst case scenario, we fucking watch a YouTube video about it, because I'm sure somebody will have it up. Last official, I hit the button to mimic it. Or to get rid of it.
Be up by then.
Oh, wait. Why do I have Valorant on there? Wait, why do I have Valorant? It's not Valorant. We're not talking about Valorant.
There's no Valorant. Yeah.
It's supposed to be COD. All right. Well, whatever. We'll just get rid of that. I don't feel like taking the time to do whatever. It's supposed to be COD. I don't feel like taking the time to find the picture that it was supposed to be and not Valorant. COD. New update went live yesterday. for Modern Warfare. Also include the Warzone. Chat might be able to correct me here as we're going in, but yesterday I loaded in. My main thing, of course, it has updates to the Modern Warfare itself. Different playlists, different multiplayer maps, new map, hard hat. I'll just do this. That way it's a little bit easier. I have the
Warzone time.
Wait, there we go. Wrong button. New things to Modern Warfare itself. Like I said, new multiplayer map, different operations, new gunfight map. Majority, I mean, those are all cool. I think majority of people play Warzone at this point. It's the free game and all that, but I at least say, hey, there's new shit in the actual game. New realism mosh pit, updated playlist. Yeah, Aisle 9. If you play the core game, if you actually bought the core game, they change the playlist like they do every update. Long story short. Yeah, exactly. If you play it, great. If you spend the money on it. Warzone.
A new weapon for the pay to win?
So yeah, it's a little bit further down. The Renetti is a new weapon on it, and I think there's one other one. Luckily, and then we talked about the week before the snake bites or snake shots, whatever the fuck they were called, the Akimbo 357s. Those got nerfed. Yeah. Luckily, because once again, like I've said, and I'll talk about this here in a minute, but I feel that this is a BR that is slightly pay-to-win-esque, and I'll expand upon that. And those of you guys that have been in my stream know, and I have issues with it. But Warzone, right now, BR solos, trios, and quads, which I don't get how they have solos, trios, and quads as the 3 playlists. I feel like if you're trios or quads, pick a squad. Pick a squad number, whether 3 or 4, and give us duos. Like, it's just weird for me as a game to have solos, trios, and quads. It's just weird for me. It's like
I feel like everyone agrees with that except for the people.
Yeah, the people in charge.
3s and 4s always.
Yeah. Like, I mean,
that either have 3 or 4.
Yeah, like, I mean, pick one, a 3 or a 4. I don't care which it is. Okay, if you want your squads to be 4-person, that's fine. If you want your squad mode to be 3,
it's Call of Duty.
Yeah, and that's fine. And make
100%.
Make it 4. That's fine. I'm okay with that. Make it 4, but give me solos, duos, and 4. Then
honestly, make it 5. Be different and reduce the amount of groups.
That would be nice. Yeah. One of the big updates.
Major issues.
Yeah, there's so many. Yeah, we'll expand. I want to talk about everything that changed, and then we'll kind of get into a little bit more. Armor box was one of the new things were added. I did play around with this. It is nice, just like the munitions box. It's one of those things in Warzone you can buy. I don't know if it's a world drop. I never saw it as a world drop. Available loot. Okay, it does say available loot on the ground. I never saw it as a world drop. But it is purchasable at the buy stage, just like munitions. You drop it down, you fill up on your armor plates. So that's kind of a cool thing. I think that's more valuable than a munitions box, personally. Especially in late game, you can fill up on armor. The most wanted contracts are back, which is the ones that we talked about where... I'm assuming they're the same ones that we talked about a couple weeks ago, where you pick them up and you become wanted. As far as I think, but the same as another thing I'm about to talk about, they weren't in the game yesterday when I played. So those are in addition to the 3 other contracts. Loot update added.
I got a lot of rap on that because I thought that was good. Like
I thought it was good. I think it was weird that they got rid of the other one, and I agree. Like, but now they're supposed to all be back. Like, I think adding a 4th contract is fine. I think it's weird that they had different ones. I don't know. Like, I think that just people were bitching to bitch. I don't know.
I agree. You're gonna have your group.
Exactly.
Group to bitch.
Yeah, I mean they got rid of those within the day, and that's why there's so many things that in gaming that drive me nuts, because I know they can fix shit within the day if they wanted to. Because this is a perfect example that they added this contract. And when we talked about it, literally from the time of us talking about it on the web show to the next day, because it launched like that Tuesday, by that Thursday, so within 48 hours. But we talked about it on the web show that they launched these contracts. I don't, they pushed the update Tuesday. By Thursday, when I went to play, they were gone. Like, they were already... So within 48 hours, they already gotten rid of and backtracked on, the contracts. But now they're back in, which is where you pick up one and you become most wanted. You are saying, I'm going to stand up to everybody. You become a you know, an attraction for people. Gulag, one of the big things, the Gulag loadouts have been updated.
Didn't fucking get me started on this.
So Gulag, instead of just having pistols and shotguns anymore, now you have actual guns, which makes me so happy. M4, Kilo, all of that.
No tacticals. No tacticals,
I
no throwables.
I
no
agree. The
guns.
stuns are overpowered in the Gulag.
Yes.
So overpowered. But you know, I have won all my Gulags without needing them because I'm just fucking better. And straight up 1v1 with a machine gun, I will click on your fucking forehead. I lost one Gulag all stream. I played Warzone, which you guys know I don't ever play Warzone, so it's not like this is my main game. I loaded in. I'm good at clicking on foreheads. I lost one Gulag in 7 hours last night with a fucking machine gun. Like, I can click on foreheads. Now, pistols, I will fucking lose because, like, I have to hit a motherfucker, like, 17 times and hit registration and all that.
Or where
but
it should hit, it doesn't hit.
Yeah,
where it's hitting.
Yeah, fucking the pistols and all that. But the machine guns being in the Gulag, I think, are great. I agree that tacticals should be gone. All automatic guns, none of the burst fire, the FAMAS, all that, or single fire guns are included. A lot of general fixes through here and just gunfight, a lot of other things to the game, challenges, missions, new weapons, that Renetti that we talked about, that D had said. I'm not sure. I haven't seen it yet really in play, so I don't know if this is going to qualify under the pay to win aspect yet. I mean, it does fall under the category, but I don't know if it's going to be an advantageous. Like, whereas the snake bites or whatever, people were fucking using them because they were overpowered.
Right.
This, I don't know. We'll see.
Since I've been really into YouTube videos, so I've been, you know, like comparing, you know, so I've been doing Apex, but I've been watching a lot of Call of Duty Modern Warfare videos because they're actually trending way higher. So I've been, you know, like looking and comparing like how they're doing theirs. And so like someone just released with this patch, like day one, and how the blueprint skin was amazing, and like all the things that they did in order to keep the cosmetics, but yet keep the OP of it. Yeah,
the perk that is underlying perk essentially.
The underlying perk that's with the blueprint. And it's just like when I look at these videos, like one, some of them are really well made, but two, it's like that is so pay to win. It's like, what the fuck?
And that's
like, why not? What the hell is
that's
this game
my
doing?
biggest thing. So we have other updates to, you know, the different guns, adjustments, all that.
Those nerfs were not necessary.
Yeah, it's like some of the nerfs were like, I think they nerfed the wrong things. I loaded in last night and like I'm trying to level up the growl because that's the OP thing right now.
Right.
I think they're purposefully avoiding the issues because they have such a large player base on the free to play / arguably pay to win, because right now during quarantine and COVID, they have so many people playing this game and they're just letting all this shit slide because they have the fucking player base.
100%. 100%. And it's annoying. It is absolutely annoying.
They, you know, it's definitely, and I've argued this is why. So the main thing that we glossed over, I didn't say it up here. So with actually, I didn't even see it in these patch notes. Now that I come to think of it, the classic mode. It's since I updated this, it doesn't actually.
Classic mode?
They might have removed it from the patch notes because I would have mentioned it. So for those of you guys that know,
saying transparency is our number one thing.
Oh, this way. So, okay. So also, I've always had an issue with Infinity Ward and all that. I've said it multiple times. Their website is not current with their patch notes. That being said, also, their patch notes initially mentioned. So somebody in chat, if you want to load up right now, I'm very curious if it's live right now. So as of this update, with the original patch notes before it came out, said that it was going to include the classic mode, BR classic mode, which is what I was excited for because I feel this game is very much pay to win.
I've had the release notes up for about an hour.
I don't see it. But and initially they were a couple days ago when I pulled them up. Not this website. I sent this one to you guys, but a couple days ago I was looking into it, and even like Hugh like said in chat, and that's why I looked up to it when I was playing it or talking about it Monday. Classic mode was supposed to launch with this in the patch notes for this before it launched. So they have updated the patch notes since it launched.
Yeah.
yay, companies being backhanded, saying that we're going to launch this. These are the patch notes, whatever. And then since it launched, have redacted the patch notes. But the classic mode was supposed to be a traditional BR where you find what's on the ground. There's no buybacks. There's no gulag. There's no loadouts. Anything like that, which I was excited to play. I wanted
that
to.
would be the one mode that I play in this goddamn game.
I was, and that's why I was
absolute trash.
Yeah.
They have so
Gulag is trash.
Entire Warzone, this entire BR.
It's not a BR anymore. Loadouts it's pay to win, and it's
massive multiplayer.
It's massive multiplayer. I 100%. Yep, 100% agree.
100%.
I think, and that's the thing, and they're just
more people would agree with this because we're in
the minority. It drives me fucking nuts. And I don't see how people love this as a BR so much because it's massive multiplayer. You literally have to, and people are like, well, if you use, like me with the growl, they're like, well, if you use the gun, you could level it up or whatever. I'm like, I'm at a huge disadvantage coming into this game with a level 1 gun in my loadout. If I pay $10K to get this gun, a level 1 gun, and I'm going up against people who have it fully kitted at level 100, whether through hours of playing it, hundreds of hours, or paying through Battle Pass, I am at a disadvantage. There's no other way about it.
That does this.
Yeah.
Name one.
There is not a single one that does this.
There's not one. So it's like, what the fuck are you doing?
It is paid. It is paid.
It should not be called a BR. It's
Yeah.
not a BR.
No, it's not.
First of all, the audio is shit. And I'm sorry, like me personally, my biggest beef with this entire game is dead silence. The whole point of a BR is to be able to hear people. You cannot have how many people do they have in this BR? Like over 100? Right?
150 in this. Yeah.
And you're expected to give half of them a dead silence? Like you're asking. This whole BR is shit. I'm sorry.
And like their average respawn is like 2.5 players. So I mean, when you look at it like that, that's like 400.
Yeah. Every lobby has roughly 300 plus people in it because people are coming back from Gulag or getting respawned. Like it's a big map ground war. That's what it is. And I get, and I advocated it at first because I'm like, this is COD and a BR, but it's not a BR. I'm retracting my statement from weeks ago because now that we've had some time, it's not a BR. It is a big ground war.
It's a massive multiplayer shooter.
Yeah.
Ground war.
Second
with BR elements, but it's not a BR.
You get the ring. The only BR element in this entire Warzone is the ring. That is it.
Nobody uses what they find on the ground. That's why I was looking forward to Classic. It's all about your loadouts. It's all about that. And that's the thing. That's why I say that you are at a disadvantage if you didn't pay to win, didn't pay to upgrade.
Everyone says that this game is better because you don't have to attach attachments to a weapon to make it better, but yet you have to get cash in order to have a predefined setup. That you spent hours to level up to get your attachments ahead of time. Either you grinded or you bought.
You grounded or you bought hours.
Right, because this isn't Apex where it's like it doesn't matter. It's just a skin.
Yeah, I should be able. I should be able to load in level 1, having never played this game and have a chance to win. And I do not have that chance. And I'm not talking about skill base. I'm not talking about anything else. I am talking about somebody who has never played this game before. I click on forward, say I'm the best Apex player in the fucking world. I should be able to load into this game and have a chance to win. And you do not. You do not have a chance to win against people who have preordained loadouts, against everything else. That have the pay to win aspects of snake bites and things like that.
I didn't have a thermal on my sniper because I'd never played snipers in the multiplayer.
And people who have that kit, people who have that kit on their loadout that have that scope unlocked, they have an advantage. Anybody who's played the multiplayer, anybody who's done all that has an advantage or has spent hundreds of hours has the advantage. Yeah. That's not a BR. Every match should be standalone.
That's been my standpoint since the day of release, and I knew that you had to grind weapons to get the attachments in order to have them on loadouts. I realized that this wasn't a game of fairness. Yeah, I said that back in the day too.
Fair start advantage.
Yeah, I said that. I was like, people who have bought this game that have multiplayer have an advantage. I remember saying that back in the day too.
I'm not saying you disagree with me at all. I'm just saying like since the first day when I realized that was their whole concept and how they're going to differentiate themselves from other battle royales. I realized this wasn't for me.
Yeah,
like this wasn't like the type of concept that like I'm going to buy into.
Yeah, and that's
COD, as many issues as they had, like coming from Black Ops 2, they have the same damn issues in a 7-8-year-old game as they do in their brand new.
Well, you're comparing different franchises, honestly. Black Ops to Modern Warfare.
I understand, but they still have the same issues. Like, I mean,
Right. Well, I'm just saying compare the previous Modern Warfare issues to the current because they're the same. You're right, but it's just like Black Ops is by a completely different publisher and developer than the Modern Warfare.
Right.
COD is still making the same mistakes COD has always made.
Right. And and that's absolutely correct. I mean, because some of these mistakes are fundamentals, right?
Yeah.
Fundamental mistakes that they just haven't gotten across, whether it be technology bound or you're stuck in your old ways type bullshit as a development company.
Listen to the community and listen to what your community wants. And the
thing is, they are listening to the community. They took jump packs out. They listened to that with World War. I mean, they are listening to them, but they're listening to a select what they want and what's
it's selective hearing.
Exactly.
Right.
It's selective. It's not, and especially like the biggest thing is the anti-cheat. Like how can you have had the same? Okay, you compare the same game, right, from past years. Constant.
And that's easy because you're talking about we're now cross-platform.
Mm-hmm.
That's the easiest way to answer that question, and that is no other Call of Duty has ever been a cross-platform until Modern Warfare, the latest. There's not been one, and that is the reason why you're seeing so many cheats is because cross-platform is now in availability.
Well, of course, it's availability and
more sophisticated hackers because now you're playing with PC players.
Yeah, so Xbox playing PC players, and also on the PC side of things, they made it so easy for them to hack.
So easy to hack.
So fucking easy. They literally took the government approach of buying the least paid bidder of, hey, who's gonna cost us the least to implement as a anti-hacking, and that's what they did for a AAA game, and they made it so easy to fucking hack, and they didn't care. They didn't fucking care.
Exactly. Explain to me on their multiplayer game that you paid for, you can say, okay, I don't want to do cross-platform, but on a BR, you are, until now, I think they fixed it.
It's a lot better now. Like
they've started the process of making it better.
Yeah, they started the process, so now like they move them into different lobbies. They now have 2-factor to make it harder to make. You have to go through a lot of extra steps to make new accounts once you're found out of doing it. And so it's better.
Right. But how can you have your multiplayer game where you could turn off cross-platform, but in BR you are stuck with the cross-plat?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that you have this massive community of cheaters, but hey.
Well, and here's the answer to that. The easiest answer is: do you make people wait for your own console or consoles? Or do you give them the soonest lobbies, and everyone will pick the soonest lobbies? Yeah. And so, like that's what developers have to choose from. I mean, so do you have a 7-minute wait time between lobbies, or do you instantly queue and you get what you get? Yeah. Right. And you have to tackle this as a not as a console versus PC as a complete. This is Call of Duty. We have to tackle it every which way.
I think they made the right choice. No, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. If you come out with your multiplayer first and you have it where you can turn off and on cross-platform, and as somebody that has turned off the cross-platform, didn't have to wait for lobbies, where you have a BR where you don't incorporate that same option, where you are known, it has been known for weeks that PC players have been hacking and cheating your game. You're literally making your console players stick with these cheaters. Like, they didn't, to me, that wasn't their focus. Yeah. They literally did not focus on that.
Oh, they didn't care about the people cheating in their game and all that kind of stuff at all for weeks.
You have to look at it as a big picture. And I mean, they actually did do the right choice, which was let everyone suffer. You got a hacker, you got a hacker. Yeah. Right? I mean, that really is, because if they would have separated them, that would have broken the whole cross-platform, and that would have
never recovered. It would have never recovered. If you were allowed to switch it, I think I agree. I think they made the right choice from the beginning, where you couldn't turn it off. They made the wrong choice, and just not how they fucking abided by being able to anti-cheat. Like I said, they dropped the ball there tenfold and have multiple times, but you know, they did. If they would have said that you could turn off the BR or the cross-plat and the BR, you'd still have, like Rumored said, you'd still have everybody not playing it cross-plat. Now, even if things get better, even for multiple months, you'd have people 6 months from now not wanting to play with PC players because once upon a time it was very easy to hack. So I think I agree that not allowing it to be turned off was the right choice. Did they need to fucking fix the anti-cheat a lot sooner? Yes, 110%. But not turning it off was the better choice for the long run, I think, for the game, because otherwise cross-plat would have died. It would have died.
But I guess let me take it back to like all the Modern Warfares. Like it's always been an easily hacked game. Like you would think for 2020 it wouldn't be so damn hard.
Well, like I said,
you would think that would be your main
yeah,
priority.
it should have been. It should have been. Like I said, they literally went with the cheapest anti-hack they could have. That being, which is a huge shame because, you know, COD, everything else, like I said, I hate the game. Feel that it's pay to win. It's definitely, though, that being said, like I said, I try to be objective as possible in all of my opinions. I did play all day yesterday, and as far as I know, I did not run into any hackers. There was never a scenario yesterday when I played for 7 hours, roughly, of Modern Warfare, because I was looking forward to that classic mode, which is not live. But I was like, okay, I'll play it. I played with Pop. I played with a couple other people. As far as I know, I did not run into any hackers, whereas a month and a half ago, I played, and I could tell almost every other match I was running into PC hackers. So just from that, it seems to be working. You know, that seems the steps that they've taken seems to be working.
They're doing
it was
a better job now.
Yeah.
And so I mean, they do have hackers on consoles, but the majority of the time when they have hackers on consoles, it's a hardware hack.
Yeah.
Right, where hardware hacks are much harder to find, right? Because they're adding a new chipset to
hardware hacks, or they're using like the you know, you're using the controller plugins like the Titan or things like that, where you have like,
I mean,
you know,
there are a few ways to like go about console hacks, but they do happen and they're much harder to find. But when they do get found out, they can do like blanket bans, right? Because it's very easily indicators. When it comes to like software on PCs, because it's so open and it's not locked down, I mean, it becomes like it's much harder to identify and then, you know, mark these accounts, because software is easily, you know, masked
it's easy
by a lot of different ways. You know, I mean, you can hack on your side, you can hack on their side. There's a lot of different ways that you can do it from a PC perspective. I feel like, though, you know, Modern Warfare, however much, you know, I'm not a big fan of that battle royale, they did take the right approach to taking care of it. Yes, they could have done it sooner, but, you know, it is life. I mean, because if they would have done it wrong, they could have absolutely destroyed cross-platform play for the majority of us, creating larger load times in general. And then if they could have gone a different way too. They could have gone a lot of different ways, but in the most part, you know, in general, I feel like they handled it right, and it is better than it was.
It's definitely better than it was.
It is a huge improvement.
Yeah, but I still don't feel. I feel like, you know, like that classic mode. That for me,
I am looking forward to the classic mode.
I start playing that as a real battle royale is when classic mode comes out.
Yeah, like we said, you know, especially getting back into it, I feel like this is a multiplayer with BR elements. Until they release that classic mode, it's not a BR to me. There's just too much pay to win, play to win advantage. And I still am not, like, having played 7 hours yesterday and I played some offline multiplayer, I still don't have, like, my Growl, like my main weapon right there. I still don't have that to a kit that is meta, you know, even, you know, and that says something. Like, it takes me that many hours even to get to the average person their kit. So, I mean, and that gives you, you're at a disadvantage. You're at an advantage or whatever, which every other BR, and I firmly believe a BR is one of those where you drop in and you're at the level playing field of everybody else in the fucking game. And that's how it should be. you know.
Yeah, you're giving advantages. Yeah, it's not a BR. Don't classify it as a BR. Just
I'm excited though to get back into it because I feel like the game, like the gunplay in that game is one of the best in the battle royale period.
I didn't hate it. That's why I said, like, going back into it yesterday, I had a lot of fun playing it. But I definitely had more fun once I was leveling up because I was winning, I was getting kills, I was leveling up my growl. I was able to, like, after every game, I was updating my loadout, which says something. Which I was able to add more onto my gun. I was able to do this. Yeah. But I mean, it says something to the pay to win side of it where I had to keep leveling up. It's like, okay, cool. I'm able to buy, I'm able to put this new attachment on and all that, which gives me an advantage over little Timmy in the middle of bumfuck Tennessee, who is loading this up for the first time. I'm gonna shred all over him. I mean, honestly,
I can see why cheaters cheat, because you know what? If I were right now, we're 14 years old and I've been spanked by 1,000 different people that are amazing at this game, and I can just go and download this cheat and just absolutely make them regret living their life in this game. I probably would if I was 14 right now. Not gonna lie, if I had the intelligence level I do, and I knew how I could do it, I would. Just to ruin everyone's day that just absolutely shit on my day the last 14 hours of trying to play that game.
I'm gonna spend my allowance on this $15 download.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm not lying. At 14, I was a bitter player. Like that's just me. I hated losing. So if I could, $20 or whatever for a month of just absolutely just headshotting fools and ruining their day, I mean, I probably would have. I wouldn't now. I have morals, and I'm not that type of person. But
right. At the end of the day, you don't get anywhere cheating.
Yeah.
I mean,
you don't.
Ruin somebody's day.
It doesn't make me good, and I don't think that it makes you good to cheat. But it definitely feels good to just shit on people.
Right.
I mean, I was doing that last night without cheating. I'm just saying, like, 3 games in, I dropped 5K in Warzone, but I click on foreheads. So
don't get me wrong, like, Warzone feels good, but like, you have people that are taking cheating to another level, like they're DDoSing people.
Yeah. I know.
And it could be grown-ass people cheating out there, and
those are the ones that I more have the issue with.
No,
because I feel like if you don't earn it, then it doesn't mean anything, right? That's my mentality. That's my mentality now. So it's like exploiting, hacks. It's all one and the same. It doesn't matter. If you're not doing it legit, then it means nothing.
What are you gonna do with your cheats? You're gonna play in tournaments? You're gonna win money? All you're doing is ruining. Just like you said, you're ruining somebody's day.
Yep.
Dude, CS:GO was absolutely terrible as far as cheaters, and that's why I stopped playing that game. That's why I stopped playing Unreal. Unreal was, right. I could never play Black Ops 4 on PC because it was full of cheaters.
It was so bad.
I played probably 20 games, and 18 of them, people one-shot me from where I couldn't even see them.
Yeah, that's how I felt with Warzone, the first couple of weeks.
God mode, all this shit. Like, back in the day, you had to have, like, your
game, you had to plug in your Game Genie, and you had to plug your cartridge into the Game Genie. Right, in order to get the unlimited lives.
The good old days of Game Genie. I remember the Game Genie.
Gotta blowing it real good.
Yeah, it'll work for it.
Not even gonna comment. Anyways, moving right along. There's so many things I could say, but we'll touch that base in a second. Huh? What? What? What's going on?
I said blow into my cartridge.
Yeah.
Blowing noises.
I don't see anything in the live Q&A. That was the last of the official topics. Anybody out there in chat, if you have any questions, speak now or forever hold your peace. As we're wrapping up a little bit, we'll keep going for other stuff, but officially web show, we're closing up. So as we're doing that, we'll go through the pleasantries since nobody has anything in the Discord. And then we're probably going to play maybe Crucible, I think is what we kind of unofficially decided on, to check it out. Maybe. I don't know.
Crucible's good. Anything's good. Don't we normally do our where can we find you?
Yeah, no, that's what I said. We're gonna go into that like right now. You're like, calm down. Let me talk, motherfucker. Let me talk.
I just didn't want to forget.
I have a new YouTube that I want to spiel. Hold on. No. That's exactly what he's thinking in Disciple's head right now. He's like, I have a new YouTube video. So Disciple, where can we find you, especially on YouTube with this new video that you just uploaded?
You guys can find me and my latest YouTube video, which is very dry, but they're gonna get better. Guys, click that link right there. Much love.
Practice makes perfect.
I'm working on the YouTube videos. What I was really talking, I was really referring to Rumored and that, but that's a great segue into why you guys should subscribe to my YouTube videos. And I'm working on it. And you guys, I stream the when I'm working on those YouTube videos, I work on them on Mixer. So you guys can see the process of working on Premiere Pro. If you guys have any questions, I can be there to help y'all.
We can learn together. So Disciple on everything.
I learned a lot.
Rumored.
Disciple on everything.
Yeah. Rumored. Where can everybody find you? What's your tag goodness?
RumoredXO on everything except Facebook.
Except everything. What days do you stream?
I stream Monday through Thursday at 7 a.m. Long time.
7 a.m. what? UK time?
Central.
So
no,
that's
Germany.
like the night before.
Germany time.
When I'm
so
thinking
it's
about
like-
going to sleep, guys, she's getting online.
Right?
Yeah, I'm thinking about going to sleep. I'm not actually going to sleep. I'm going, should I keep playing or should I actually have a reasonable, an actual reasonable thing?
But to be fair, do you know how many times that I have gone live and I've seen Kdog on this After Dark, like literally all night long? Like,
Well, the
he's
After
still
Dark
on
tag
after
is
I
still
did.
on there all night.
His title.
Yeah, I just don't update the title.
He was done with the After Dark. Like, we've not gone longer than like 1 a.m. Pacific, so that's like
I was
3
saying, like,
to
we've
4
never like
a.m.
one of the longest shows like this one. We're about kind of getting to the longer side, but yeah, we've never.
Yeah.
I think our longest one was Silent when we got for quite a while off on a lot of tangents. But that was definitely like a 4-hour show. This one's getting up there, but I if they don't feel long, like as long as we're talking, I don't mind. Like we're here, everybody's talking. We're doing that. Like I just let it go. For the most part, I'd rather us talk and the community and we talk and all that. And of course, myself, the random host guy here, Kdog 57 gaming everywhere, of course. Saints, I saw that you had a question. I'm going to catch up on that. We were talking right there. Stream question. I'd like to know how you did set up to include the other webcams. Long story, very short. Warlock kind of answered it. Pretty much, I draw in the Discord call as a source in multiple different areas here. So everybody's in a Discord call, and I'm using the screen cap to make it work with a lot of different little adjustments.
Different screen capture sources, both to Discord, because that's where we both are. We're sharing our.
They're on Discord on that
there.
Screen over there. That one.
And the biggest thing is like having to resize everything, especially with the 2 to 3 different scenes that we're running on. It's a huge ordeal, and it takes a lot of organization by Kdog.
A lot. Kdog does an amazing job.
I put a lot of fucking time into this every week, and I enjoy it though. I enjoy it. So if I didn't enjoy it, I wouldn't do it. That just case in point. I fucking wouldn't do it if I didn't enjoy doing the web show every week. That's it. Yeah. So D&D, different. A lot of, and I got the inspiration from like D&D. There are some people, Tyson and Captain Robert. They do theirs. Kind of got the inspiration for the some of the style for setting up. Some people like them. They have their own private server that they link up their webcams to as well. Rather than using even Discord, they contact the server and provide their input to that, and then they pull from that server itself. So there are different ways if you want to get more high-end, a little bit more money, more down the road. That might be something I do down the road, but for right now, Discord works. So, and knock on wood, we're finishing up the episode, and Disciple never went pixelated, guys. Yay!
Dude, that's first time.
I was saying that's the first time in weeks. I don't know about ever, but the last couple times you've been on, it's been It's
I
happened.
mean, I feel like since they were I mean, like, I feel like the first episode, which was like the pilot, didn't. But then, like, ever since like a full episode, it's been
at some point. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know.
I didn't have to change servers or anything. Like,
fucking
I'm still on East.
Seattle internet.
You fix it.
Yep. I don't know.
It's Seattle. It's the backbone.
Yep. Anyways, I think that's it, everybody. Thank you for everybody hanging out and chatting with us on the web show. Hope we covered everything and answered all of your questions. If not, oh fucking well, because I already asked you to ask those questions. So we're moving right along. You had your chance. We're moving on. Ask them next week. God damn it. No. But episode 16 tonight. Next week, episode 17 with Took, I believe, the Fool Took. I'm 99% sure. Yep. And then week after that is Afea, and that's everybody that I have scheduled now. So we'll have a new batch of scheduling coming up here soon. So if you guys are out there and streamers out there and people that might want to get on the show, pay attention to the socials, because that is a thing that's going to be happening here in the near future for the next level of the web show, along with the revamp.
Have you determined how many episodes are in a season?
I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to take like a week off or whatever. This is going to be like kind of the season 1 when I end this, and then I'll do like season 2. I don't know if I'm going to take a week off in between, or I might just take my in-between week might be my birthday, because that's coming up the 24th. The 26th is my birthday. 24th is my is that Wednesday. I might take that week off of the web show and just have that be like the intermediary. I don't know. I haven't officially decided.
Start season 2 off with your brand new
I was thinking about that, but I mean, I might have the brand new stuff next week, so I don't know.
I was thinking you should hold off on it, man, and just do season 2 with the brand new stuff. I feel like that's a good. I mean, because what else makes season 2 season 2?
Yeah, true.
New epic upgrades.
Yeah. But then also, no, I've been thinking about it also, but it's like I don't know if I even want to take a week off. You know, like I might just say it's season 2 and just be like, hey, we're launching season 2 starting this week.
That's fine.
I don't know.
That's fine.
I don't know. I haven't decided. Either way, guys, everybody, thank you for hanging out. Like I said, we all appreciate it. Again, if for whatever reason you have not followed these two lovely people, do so. Get your shit together. We've already said that multiple times.
Shaquille O'Neal, like my hands look so big.
Hold on, let me hold on. Let me see how it looks compared to me. Hold on. But yeah, that is the end of the official web show. Everybody say goodbye. Everybody in chat say goodbye. We're gonna keep here, but officially for the YouTube yada yada podcast, you guys have a great rest of your week, and we will see you next week for episode whatever fucking episode I said 17. Have a good night, everybody.
17.
Yeah, that thing with the stuff.